क्या करता कि ये बच्चा. So we were discussing about case scenarios, guys, the other day, guys. We are done with the first 13 case scenarios, right? 13 tak ho gaya na beta. Now, guys, moving on to question number 14, guys. Question number 14, guys, is also something that we've already done in the class as a part of regular questions. K Limited is a manufacturer. Exact same question class mein ho chuka hai, but I'm just discussing this. K Limited is a manufacturer of a single product. 8,000 units of product A has been produced in the month of March 2024. At the beginning of the year, a total of 1,20,000 units has been planned for production. 1,20,000, guys, is for the entire year, but budget actuals are given only for 1 month. So you will have to prepare a revised budget for a span of 1 month. Yes or no, kids? If 1,20,000 units is per annum, what will be the number of budgeted units per month? 10,000 units. The cost department has provided the following estimates of overheads. We have fixed overheads 12 lakh rupees, variable 6 lakh, semi-variable 1,80,000. Semi-variable charges are considered to include 60% of fixed expenses and 40% of variable. If you try to recall, beta, क्या बोला था मैं यहाँ पे? Separate करो. 60% whatever is fixed, beta, will be added to fixed amount. Whatever is variable will be added to variable amount. So you'll add that 60% of 1,80,000, beta, 1,08,000 rupees to your fixed amount. You will add Are we clear about this? Next, beta, semi-variable ho gaya wo. The records of the production department shows that the company could have operated for 20 days, but then there was a festival holiday during the month, which implies, guys, that the actual number of working days will only be 19 days. This will result in calendar variance. Yes or no, kids? I hope you have all revised standard costing formulas, beta, as I told you the other day. Karke aana revise. The actual cost data for the month of March is as follows. They've given us fixed expenses, guys, semi-variable and variable expenditure. So I'm just writing the summary, beta. We have done this question before, exact same question. Pure saal ka budget kitna hai, beta? Per year. How many units, guys, were you supposed to manufacture? 1,20,000 units. So per month as such, beta, how much will that be? 10,000. The amount of fixed cost as such, guys, for the year, beta, it was 12 lakhs plus 60% of 1,80,000. Can someone take 13,08,000? Can you divide this by 12 months, guys? 1 lakh. This will become the amount of fixed overheads per month, guys. 13,08,000 is for the entire year. That divided by 12 months, you will get 1,09,000. Variable overheads, beta, as per the budget, they were supposed to be 6 lakhs, plus you will add 40% of 1,80,000. How much will that be, guys? 6,72,000. You divide that by 12 months, beta, and arrive at the answer. 60? 56,000, guys. Actuals mein, beta, what is the amount of output, guys? 8,000, beta. Actual fixed overheads mein bhi tumhare ko 60 or 40% lena padega, guys. How much is your fixed cost, beta? 1 lakh? 1,19,000 plus you will take 60% of 19,200, guys. Beta, class abhi shuru bhi hai. How much is this, guys? Total amount 1 lakh. 48,000, guys, plus 40% of 19,200. How much will that become, guys? 55,000. These are the details that you're supposed to consider, guys. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? We have done the same thing before also, guys. I'm just telling you again. ठीक है? Exact same values भी थे. Now the first bit says, guys, variable overhead cost variance. If you try to recall, beta, I told you that whenever details of time are not given, beta, you will not be able to compute efficiency variance and expenditure variance separately for variable overheads. So the only variance that we can compute, beta, here is variable overhead cost variance. इसलिए requirement वही है, guys. They did not ask us to compute variable overhead expenditure variance or efficiency variance, as that cannot be computed. How will you write variable overhead cost variance, beta? Standard rate per unit कितना है, guys? For variable overheads, can I write 56,000 divided by 10,000 units? That will be 5.6 rupees. So now when you're computing variable overhead cost variance as such, guys, you are going to write standard variable overheads for actual output minus actual variable overheads, right guys? Standard variable overheads beta will become SR per unit into actual output. Per unit you were supposed to spend 5.6 rupees, you've actually manufactured an output of 8,000 units minus actual kitne beta 55,680. How much is the difference guys? 10,880 adverse. Fixed overheads mein beta you can compute volume variance, you can compute calendar variance, you can compute expenditure variance. Fixed overhead mein beta, first thing, how much is your standard rate per unit? How will you compute standard rate guys? 1,09,000 is for how many units? Guys कुछ याद आ रहा है बेटा? Same question, same numericals class में कर चुके हैं. Standard rate per unit beta you have to divide budgeted overheads divided by budgeted output. So that will become. How will you compute absorbed overheads guys now? Shouldn't you multiply standard rate per unit guys with actual output? So that beta would be 10.9 multiplied by an actual output of, how much will this be guys? Now beta you can compute volume variance. Your volume variance guys is going to be absorbed overheads minus budgeted overheads. Your absorbed overheads beta are 87,200, budgeted is 1,09,000. How much will be your volume variance? दिया हुआ है guys. How will you compute expenditure variance guys? What's the formula for fixed overhead expenditure variance? Excellent guys. Budgeted fixed overheads minus actual fixed overheads. How much are your budgeted fixed overheads? Actual fixed overheads. Actuals 1,30,000 are the absorbed beta. Actual is 1,30,520. Difference guys. समझ में आ गया guys? If you want fixed overhead cost variance guys, fixed overhead cost variance, can I add both volume and expenditure? That will become how much beta? 43,320 adverse. This is volume plus expenditure. Calendar variance guys, will that be favorable or adverse? I can write actual working days minus budgeted working days into standard rate per day. I cannot write RBH minus BH here because number of hours data is not given. So this multiplied by standard rate per day. कोई standard rate per day बोलो बेटा? 1,09,000 divided by 20 days. 5,000. So this will be 5,450 adverse. हो गया guys? समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? Any doubt in this part? Understood guys? You can do that later as such beta, या फिर you can just write refer class notes or notebook, whatever it is guys. We have the same question in your materials already. Requirement भी same ही है guys वहाँ पे. Now this question guys, we have it in additional question bank of standard costing. Let me just discuss it. ठीक है? यहाँ पे एक नॉर्मल लॉस का पॉइंट आ रहा है. I will tell you how to adjust that as such guys. बाकी सब नॉर्मली है क्वेश्चन में. Only new point is about normal loss. So we are going to solve this question in a detailed manner. For previous question, I hope you have written. Just refer class notes. Now, Hilfi Textiles Limited has been Hilfi, जो भी है बेटा वो. Hi-Fi Textiles Limited has been a major player in the textile industry, producing high quality polyester mixed cotton fabric. The production process is complex and involves multiple stages. All of this beta is just to tell you in case you want to get into business, this is the process. Involves multiple stages including spinning, weaving, quality control and packaging. The company has been facing challenges in controlling cost and maintaining profitability, mainly due to fluctuating material cost and labor inefficiencies. You know what is the amount of water needed to make one jeans? 10,000 liters. So, to address these challenges, the company's management has decided to implement a standard costing system to better manage cost, set benchmarks, and identify variances. The goal is to gain better control over production cost, improve budgeting accuracy, and enhance decision making. Okay, guys? Do we care? You do not strike, but I'm just telling you it is not relevant. Hi-Fi Textiles had prepared the following estimation for the month of April. Same table दो बार आ चुका है बेटा. It's not two different tables. You can strike once now. The same table has come twice better there. We have cotton and polyester, 8,000 meters and 6,000 meters. Rate per meter is given as 50 rupees and 40 rupees. We have skilled labor and unskilled labor, 1,000 and 800 hours. Normal loss was expected to be 10% of total input materials. They've given us input output ratio. Okay? Usually when they give a table like this, they tell us that this is for an output level of so and so. But here they did not specify that, but we can easily compute, guys, that these requirements will be for what output level. Kitna rahega beta as per this, these details that they have given, standard details as such, guys, are for what output level, guys? Yeah, exactly. I want that in meters. I can also say 90%. 90% is a relative term, it is not an absolute term. 12,600. Total raw material input, guys, as per the details given there, guys, are 14,000 meters. On that beta, we are supposed to have a normal loss of how much? 10%. So that 10%, guys, of 14,000 meters will become 1,400 meters. Guys, all of you continue reading, guys. Online students, continue reading the question beta. I need a break of 2 minutes. Alright, guys. So the total raw material input as per these details beta is 14,000 meters. On that you will have a loss of 10%. So that will be 1,400 meters loss. That is why, guys, your actual output is going to be 12,600 meters. That is not the actual output. That is output as per the requirement given here. Which also means beta that these standard times given beta are for an output of 12,600. ये जो भी अभी ऊपर का information है बेटा, that will be for an output level of 12,600. We will proportionately compute it based on the actual output. There is a labor idle time of 5% of expected labor hours was also estimated. We never did. मतलब यहाँ पे क्या है बेटा, labor time is not after the actual job occurred. They're telling us at the time of preparation of budget only beta that there is a normal idle time of. That means beta, though यहाँ पे 1,000 hours दिया हुआ है, out of 1,000 hours beta, we are not going to work for 50 hours. We are going to work only for, though 800 hours are given beta, out of 800 hours we are not going to work for 5%. We are going to work only for. When you are preparing a budget, guys, you will directly take 950 hours and 760 hours and then compute proportionately what should be the standard time required for actual output. I repeat, there is an idle time of 5%. That means though as per the budget given here beta, number of hours are 1,000, we are not going to work for 5%. You are going to take only the balance 95%. That is how you're going to get the number of hours. Any doubt in this part? The actual output is 14,800 meters. अब सब proportionately करना पड़ेगा. ऊपर का जो detail है बेटा, that is for 12,600. How much should be standard quantities for 14,800. एक बार वो आ गया बेटा, the entire question is simple. क्योंकि उसके बाद में तो सिर्फ formula apply करना है. What is material usage? What is material price? What is material sub usage? Yes or no? So what is the important thing बेटा here is first, ये जो standard relation है बेटा, standard relation, total input of raw material is given as how many meters? 14,000 meters. On that there should be a loss of how much? That means my output should be how much better? This is what you will have to understand first. Any doubt in this part? Now when I write material beta, what are the two materials that we have? Cotton and polyester. Standard quantity for 12,600 meters is how much beta? 8,000 meters. And yes or no, kids? What do you think will be the standard quantity for 14,800 meters? ये actual output है बेटा अभी. You know how to compute, right? 14,800 into 8,000 divided by 12,600. Round off to the nearest number, beta. 9,997. 397. This will become 14,800 into 6,000 divided by 12,600. 7,048. ये हो गया standard quantity for actual output. Wherever formulas that we are going to use, you will not write 8,000 meters and 6,000 meters. You will write 9397 and 7048. This is what you have learned in standard costing, that do not blindly pick up the standards given in the question. Check if it is for actual output or not first. If it is not for actual output, you're first supposed to compute standard quantities for actual output. Yes or no, kids? What is the standard price beta per meter? 50. And what is the actual quantity of raw material that you used? Break dege bolo yaar. 9,000 and 6,000. 15,500. What is the actual price of raw material? 40. And revised standard quantity. How do you compute revised standard quantity? Total actual quantity in standard mix. So this will be 15,500 in standard mix. Standard mix is 8:6. Isn't that 8:6? Yes or no, guys? Are you getting the point, beta? Standard mix is the ratio of 8,000 is to 6,000. That is nothing but 8:6. So 15,500, guys, into 8 by 14. 8,000. 857. Bacha hua beta would be 643. We have all the details that we need, guys, for arriving at material variances. So on mein aa raha hai, nahi aa raha? Now beta, when I talk about labor, we have skilled labor and then we have unskilled labor. What is the standard hours for 12,600 meters? Isn't the table for 12,600 meters? I told you to not blindly pick up 1,000 and 800. What should I adjust? 950. And then, guys, 700. And this will be the standard hours, guys, for 12,600 meters. I will have to proportionately compute standard hours for 14,800 meters. That is for actual output. 1116 point. राउंड ऑफ करने के बाद में ये ना, हाँ, वेरी गुड बेटा. नेक्स्ट 890, 1116 and 893. स्टैंडर्ड रेट पर आवर कितना है बेटा? 37.5 and 22. What are your actual hours? 1,200 and 860. Put together 2,060. What is your actual rate per hour? 35.5 and 23. How will you get revised standard hours? 2,060 in standard mix. Standard mix बेटा is 10:8. 1,000:800. बेटा तुम लोग 950:760 भी कर सकते हो बेटा, but ratio is going to remain same. 11 and 16. अब इसके बाद में तो सिर्फ प्रोसीड्यूरल है बेटा. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट क्या है बेटा? मतलब द क्वेश्चन इज प्रेटी नॉर्मल फॉर मी. ओनली द पॉइंट ऑफ दैट नॉर्मल लॉस एडजस्टमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज नॉर्मल लॉस इज गिवन even before the standards are being set as such, guys. I will have to adjust that normal loss and then write the standard time. Everyone understood that treatment? We have the same question बेटा, but under additional question bank. तुम लोग जब भी देखोगे ये समझ में आया सबको? Yes or no? Please make a note of this, guys. Online students, make a note of it. You can send a message in the chat box beta again, whoever is attending. Are you all done, guys, copying this? A couple of you might have already done this question. जो भी additional questions करने की आदत है जिसको, क्या जीतू किए से ना ये है ना, वहाँ पे एडिशनल क्वेश्चन में है, एग्जैक्ट सेम वैल्यूज भी सेम है शायद. Can we compute idle time variance in this question? नहीं बेटा, when standard set करने से पहले ही there is idle time decided, you cannot compute idle time variance because it will be incorporated in the computation of hours and rate per hour. बेटा, there is no question. याद रखना, whenever ऐसे सोच बेटा, whenever there is a normal loss predetermined, it is already adjusted to the rate per unit. So that is why there is no question of you computing it. जो अपन idle time variance compute करते बेटा, that is abnormal idle time. It can be on account of machine breakdown or power cuts and all of that, guys, which is not predetermined. Did you compute all of this, guys? Yes or no, beta? Should we continue with solving variances? खत्म कर देंगे पूरा ही? Yes, beta. Let us finish material variances. If you're done writing this, material variances. You know how it is to be done, beta. Cotton, polyester, and total. Starting with what, guys? Whenever we compute these variances, we start with the last element, beta. So you'll start with material sub-usage and material mix variance. Sub-usage variance is also known as yield variance. Correct, guys? So material sub-usage variance. What is the formula for material sub-usage variance? Standard quantity minus revised standard quantity multiplied by standard price. Beta, sub-usage variance arises on account of change in total quantity. Mix variance arises on account of change in the proportion in which you are using raw materials. So SQ minus RSQ. I am not writing the values, guys. Can someone multiply and tell me the answer directly? So that will be 9397 minus 8857 into 50. 20? Exact. 9397 minus 8857 multiplied by 50. 27,000 favorable beta. Polyester के लिए beta 7048 minus 6643 into 40 rupees. 16,200 favorable. Put together 43,200 favorable. This is material sub-usage, also known as yield variance. Then beta is material mix variance. How will you compute mix variance, guys? RSQ minus AQ into SP. हमेशा याद रखना, mix variance, if one is favorable, the other material will be adverse. If you're using more of one material, that means you're using less of the other material. So material mix variance, guys, you will write RSQ minus AQ, guys. So for the first one, it is adverse. 8857 minus 9000 into 50. 7150 adverse. Second वाले के लिए बेटा favorable है. 5720 favorable. Put together 1430 adverse. This is the first bit, guys. We got material mix variance, we got material yield variance. Perfect, beta. Cheroko Kavya. So we got this, guys. Now, beta, you will compute. You can add them and write what? Material usage variance. So this will become 19,850 favorable. This will become 21,920 favorable. Put together, beta. 770 favorable. अब आएगा बेटा मटेरियल प्राइस वेरिएंस. How will you compute material price variance, kids? पूरी क्लास रिवाइज करके आई ना. Proud of you guys. Standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. You know standard prices, you know actual prices beta. 50 minus 48 multiplied by actual quantity beta. That will be 18,000 favorable. Next beta. ये भी favorable है. 19,500 favorable. Put together 37,500 favorable. This is the answer to second bit, guys. Material price variance. If you add final answer beta, कितना आएगा? We got the answers for the first three bits. 79,270. That will become your material cost variance. We got material sub-usage variance, material mix variance, guys. Sum total of which is material usage variance. To that we are adding material price variance to arrive at material cost variance. ये MCQs करके वो feeling आती कि we can revise the entire costing in 5-6 days only बोल के. Because we start thinking that we did not forget everything also. We know a major part of it. What राशि? नहीं आता ऐसा फीलिंग कभी. 4 दिन में ग्रुप 2 कर रहे बेटा लोग, अपन 5 दिन में एक सब्जेक्ट तो कर ही सकते हैं ना. व्हाट टन है बेटा? वो एक है बेटा गधा जो अपने आप को राजपाल यादव समझता. इतना क्या पीछे पड़ गया. हाँ तेरे को लग रहा है बेटा तू ऐसा आदमी है कि कोई तेरे पीछे पड़ सकता है. यस गाइस, someone will agree with me. बचपन के दोस्त भी तो तेरे क्लास में. क्या सांचल तू है ना. All right guys, kids, jokes apart, but are you all done with this? Now labor variances, guys, please finish that also. The only two complicated नहीं, थोड़ा out of the box case scenarios are the first two, guys. I should have put them in the end. I shouldn't have put them in the beginning, no? We started off on a wrong footing. Forget the time बेटा. इस टाइम से डिसाइड नहीं होता है बेटा क्या अच्छा है क्या गलत है. उसके फेरे अगर 2 घंटे चले उसका ये मतलब थोड़ी है कि एंड प्रोडक्ट शायद. Yes guys, are you all done beta? Labor variances, guys, next. Labor variances mein beta you will start off with what, guys? Labor sub-efficiency variance, also known as what beta? Labor yield variance. What's the formula for labor yield variance, guys? Standard hours minus revised standard hours into standard rate per hour. Can someone calculate and tell me the values? 1052 1050 adverse. Unskilled put together 1556 adverse. समझ में आ रहा है guys? Put together, guys, the values are 1556 adverse. Labor mix variance. पूछा नहीं बेटा, but then anyways we are computing the other things. What will you write beta? Revised standard hours minus actual hours into standard rate per hour. For a change, guys, we have 1 2 put together beta 868. For labor efficiency you can club both these variances, guys, and write the answer. 3150 adverse. एक प्लस एक माइनस है बेटा. 726 favorable. Put together, guys, 2424 adverse. So we are done with the fourth bit also, guys. Now to this you will add labor rate variance. What's the formula for labor rate variance? Standard rate minus actual rate multiplied by actual hours. You know standard rate, you know actual rate beta. We have written all of that in the table. You will multiply that by actual hours. First वाले के लिए 2400 favorable, second वाले के लिए 860 adverse. Put together 1540 labor cost variance बोल बेटा direct last value 884 adverse. We got all the answers, guys. Labor cost variance is 884 adverse. Any doubt in this part, guys? समझ में आया नहीं आया बेटा? Do not worry about the subsequent question, one step at a time. हो गया कॉपी करा? तो वैल्यूज एक भी नहीं लिखा नोटबुक में? कैसे दोस्त है तुम लोग के? 16th question, guys. हो गया बेटा ये? Shall we start the 16th question? It's also a pretty simple question, guys. All the questions are simple, guys. वो सिर्फ first two questions ऐसे थे, बाकी पूरे के पूरे normally है. ABC Private Limited is engaged in the manufacture of a product Q. नहीं बाबू. Is everyone done with the previous question? मारुति हो गया previous वाला? Done beta? ABC Private Limited is engaged in the manufacture of a product Q. The product has the following standard production requirements determined by the technical team of the company post satisfactory completion of test run. Raw material Z, 2 units at the rate of 2 rupees per unit. Skilled labor, 2.5 hours at the rate of 5 rupees per hour. Fixed overheads at the rate of 7.5 per unit. The input of raw material Z has an yield of 80% every time when infused into production. Okay. There is a normal loss of, for every 100 units of input, guys, the output is going to be only, there is a loss of 20%. Apart from that, we also need, guys, 2 units of raw material Z. Do not forget that as such, guys. So effectively, beta, before losses, it should be 2 divided by 80%. Kitna ho jana chahiye wo? We actually need 2.5 units of Z, using which I will get 1 unit of the final product. Out of 2.5 units, I will end up losing 20%. Bachega 2 units. That will give me 1 unit of the final product. So though they gave 2 units, it should be how many units? 2.5. Because of that yield ratio of 80%. Any doubt in this? The actual quantity of raw material Z consumed for production during the year beta was 24,000 units. This is actual quantity. Do not try to compute actual output using actual quantity. You can only compute actual output, guys, using standard quantity for actual output. Actual quantity, actual output are not related by standard relations. Actual quantity, actual output are not related by standard relation. Standard quantity for actual output and actual output are related by, I've been telling this in standard costing beta, that actuals cannot be computed. Actuals should be given. Only standard quantities can be computed beta using input output ratio. So you are not going to compute actual output beta using what? Actual quantity. Are we clear? But do we have material usage variance? Using that, can I compute standard quantity for actual output? Using standard quantity for actual output and the standard input output relation, I will know what is actual output manufactured. अब जैसे बेटा यहाँ पे usage variance is given as 2000 favorable. How do you compute material usage variance? Standard quantity minus actual quantity multiplied by standard price. I do not know standard quantity for actual output, but I do know beta that actual quantity consumed was, what is the standard price per unit? This is equal to 2000 favorable, positive. So don't you think I'll get standard quantity for actual output as 25,000 units? For every unit of finished product, what is the actual raw material required? 2.5 units. तो अगर तुम लोग standard quantity is 25,000 units, what do you think should be the actual output? 10,000. समझ में आ रहा है guys? First bit का answer guys, it is 10,000 units. Are we clear about that? Yes or no beta? You understood what I just said? Next beta. Further, the actual amount of material cost for the material consumed amounted to 45,000. Using this, I can compute material price variance. Material price variance का formula क्या है बेटा? Standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. I know standard price, I know actual price, I know actual quantity. Will I be able to compute material price variance? I have usage variance, I have price variance. Will I be able to compute material cost variance? Undoubtedly, yes. So this is everything in relation to materials. Any doubt in this? Yes or no guys? समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है बेटा? So let us finish this part guys first. पहले ये लिखो बेटा, what is your yield ratio guys? 80%. That means loss is how much बेटा? 20% of input. Loss will be 20% of input. Correct guys? Standard quantity per unit of output. I will write 2 units divided by what beta? 80%. 2.5 units. You understood why am I dividing 2 by 80% beta? Input output ratio is 80%. So if you ऐसा सोचो वरना if you use 2.5 units, 20% will go of 2.5. बचेगा कितना? 2 units. That is what you are consuming beta in the final product. Now, what is the information that we have beta? Standard quantity for actual output not given. Standard price per unit given 2 rupees. Actual quantity consumed given 24,000 units. Actual price into actual quantity given 45,000 rupees. These are the given details in relation to material variances. I have actual quantity, I have actual cost of raw material, I have standard price per unit, I have standard quantity for actual output. Next बेटा, अब क्या compute करना है? Use material usage variance, get SQ for AO. The minute you get SQ for AO, you can compute actual output. Material usage variance guys is given in the question. The formula for that is standard quantity for actual output minus actual quantity into standard price. SQ for AO is not known. Actual quantity is 24,000 into 2 rupees. This will be equal to what guys? 2000 favorable. Favorable matlab positive. Using this beta you're going to get SQ for AO as how much? 25,000 units. If the input beta is 2.5 units, output will be 1 unit as per standard. Yes or no guys? SQ for AO is how much? 25,000. SQ for AO is 25,000. How will I compute actual output beta? Divided by 2.5, it will become, this is the answer to the first bit. Standard quantity for actual output beta is 25,000 units divided by 2.5 beta, that will be 10,000 units. Any doubt in this? Yes, beta. Did you all get this, guys? अभी क्या compute करना है बेटा? Material price variance. What will be the formula for material price variance? SP minus AP into AQ. Standard. I do not know AP अलग से बेटा. I will split the terms. I'll write SP into AQ minus AP into AQ. So this will become 2 into 24,000 minus AP AQ is 45,000. This will become 3,000. What will be your material cost variance? I can add material usage variance and I can add material price variance. MUV, MPV, material usage, material price. Usage was given as 2,000 favorable, price variance is given as, we computed it as 3,000 favorable, put together 5,000 favorable. That answers the second bit. बीच बीच में चेक करते रहना बेटा, वो आंसर्स मार्क करेक्टली है नहीं है. जस्ट इन केस इट इज नॉट, लेट मी नो. 5,000 favorable beta will be the answer. Now we will go back to the question, guys. Read the data given in relation to labor hours. Are you all done with this, guys? Shilu done, beta? Next, guys. Tanmay, stop laughing. घर वालों को मैसेज करके बोलता हूँ यू मिसिंग क्लासेस बोल के. How do you know? No, she told me no long, but तू ही बोली थी ना? No, पीछे वाली थी वो. उसको बकबक करने की बहुत आदत है, तो शी टोल्ड. क्या लगाऊं कुछ तो. अरे हाँ, वो एक समवन केम फॉर हॉस्टल रिक्वायरमेंट, सो दैट इज वेयर आई आस्क्ड हर. करेक्ट. Coming back to this, guys, during this said year the actual working hours were 30,000, for which the labor cost paid by the company was 1,20,000. AH is 30,000, guys, so that obviously beta will be AH paid. Sir, how do you know it is AH paid, sir, and it is not AH worked? Itna paid hai bolke. Now you obviously have to pay for idle time also, no? Whatever it is. So this will become AH. Correct, guys? Next, beta. The idle time variance amounted to 10,000 adverse. अच्छा, fixed overheads भी है अभी आगे. तो यहाँ तक बस बेटा. So in relation to labor, guys, what are all the details that we have, guys? पहले बेटा, you all know, guys, that the actual output is how many units? You cannot have a different output for material and labor, right? For material, did we not compute actual output is 10,000 units? So what will be your standard time, guys, for actual output? ऊपर information में देखो, for every unit, guys, it is 2 point. So 2.5 hours multiplied by 10,000 units. 25,000 hours. Correct, guys? After that, beta, you will have standard rate per hour. How much is that? 5 rupees. I do not know AH worked, but I do know that AH paid is how many hours? 30,000 hours. And then beta, actual rate per hour beta कितना हो जाएगा? Or you can write ARAH. 1,20,000 rupees is for how many hours? 30,000 hours. So that will become 4 rupees per hour. Up. Did they give us idle time variance? Using idle time variance, can I compute AH worked? Once I get AH worked, what are the requirements, guys? Standard hours, net actual hours, idle time hours. अच्छा वही net actual hours मतलब क्या, guys? Actual hours worked. You remove idle time and that will become the net actual hours. Can you use labor idle time variance, guys? You remember the formula for idle time? AH worked minus AH paid multiplied by standard rate per hour. Idle time variance is always supposed to be adverse, not favorable. AH worked is what I have to compute, guys. AH paid is how much? 30,000. Standard rate per hour is 5 rupees. Idle time variance and the idle time variance beta is 10,000 adverse. मतलब negative 2,000 beta. Negative 10,000 divided by 5, negative 2,000. If you bring that 30 there, it will become positive 30. Negative 2 plus positive 30, 28,000 hours. You will get AH worked with as 28,000 hours. Now did we get the answer to that bit, guys? Idle time bhi aa gaya na? We got idle time. Third question done, beta. We got idle time, we got net actual hours. We also got standard hours. AH worked, guys, is 28,000 hours. Did you all get the answer? Kids, have you all done? Can you tell me, beta, how to arrive at? क्या पूछा वो और next? Now there is one very important point, beta, here. तुम लोग compute करो, efficiency variance match नहीं होगा. Standard minus, you know, efficiency variance should be based on actual hours worked, not actual hours. So this will be 25,000 minus 28,000 multiplied by 5 rupees. That will become how much? 15,000 adverse. None of the options are 15,000 adverse, guys. The options given are what? They are talking about revised efficiency, guys. They shouldn't have done this. I told you that this is not done in Indian syllabus. You remember, guys, I told you while teaching that in international courses they combine efficiency and idle time and term it as revised efficiency. So what they have given us, beta, is actually labor efficiency variance plus labor idle time variance. So that, beta, would be 15,000 adverse plus 10,000 adverse. Please mark that bit, beta, and write that idle time variance is included in efficiency variance. It is not actually called as efficiency variance, guys. It is called as revised efficiency. Efficiency variance के लिए, beta, we take only actual hours. अभी बेटा तुम लोग भी, you are not going to change the formula. Whenever there's a normal question to be solved, it is AH worked only. अब options में match नहीं हो रहा तो obviously use common sense, beta, and then get the answer. Labor efficiency variance is 15,000. वहाँ पे क्या लिखो? It includes idle time variance बोल के लिखना. It includes idle time variance. Mark that bit as important so that you end up revising it later. It includes idle time variance. How do you compute labor rate variance, guys? Paid. Whenever there is idle time, rate variance should be based on payment, whereas efficiency should be based on the basis of actual hours worked. So this is 5 minus 4 into paid is 30,000 hours. So that will be 30,000 adverse. That matches. Favorable, guys, sorry. 30,000 favorable. So the answer, beta, is option C. Revised efficiency is 25,000 adverse, whereas rate variance, beta, is 30,000 favorable. Are we clear? Next, beta. Shall we read the next part? It says, guys, the actual fixed overheads incurred during the year amounted to 1,50,000, while the expenditure variance was 25,000 favorable. Guys, using this, can I arrive at the amount of budgeted fixed overheads? Absorbed fixed overheads, you can all compute, guys. Absorbed fixed overhead, abhi I'll show you guys what are all the informations that we have. Do we have standard rate per unit? Upar dekho, 7 point. Do we have actual output? How many units? Using these two, can I compute absorbed fixed overheads? Ha ya na beta? Absorbed fixed overheads is standard rate per unit multiplied by actual output. So that'll be 7.5, guys, multiplied by 10,000 units. The answer beta will be. Now to compute volume variance, I need to compare absorbed fixed overheads and budgeted fixed overheads. But budgeted fixed overheads are not given. Instead, they gave us what beta? Fixed overhead expenditure variance. What's the formula for fixed overhead expenditure variance? Budgeted fixed overheads minus वही नहीं उल्टा बोल के हाँ वही कहते फिक्स्ड एक्सपेंडिचर वेरिएंस कितना दिया हुआ है बेटा क्वेश्चन में favorable. I do not know budgeted fixed overheads, but I do know beta that actuals are how much? 1,50,000. Therefore budgeted beta will become 1,75,000. Now you know budgeted, you know absorbed, guys. What will be your fixed overhead volume variance? 1 lakh adverse. That's it, guys. You compare absorbed fixed overheads with budgeted fixed overheads. That will become beta your volume variance. Absorbed is 75,000, actual is 1,75,000. 1 lakh adverse. Clear है बेटा ये? हो गया राशि तेरा पूरा? राशि 1, राशि 2. हंसना बंद करो गाइस. ठीक है बेटा, मैं सॉल्व कर रहा हूं. If you're all done with this, guys, we'll move on to the next question, beta. 17th one. ख्याति शुरू करे. Is everyone done with this, guys? Done, beta. Question number 17, guys. Arnav Limited manufactures chemical solutions used in paint and adhesive products. Chemical solutions are produced in different processes. Some of the processes are hazardous in nature, which may result in fire accidents. At the end of the last month, one fire accident occurred in the factory. Fire destroyed some of the paper files containing records of the process operations for the month. You, being an associate to the chief manager finance, are assigned to prepare the process accounts for the month during which the fire occurred. From the documents and files of other sources, following information could be retrieved. Opening work in progress at the beginning of the month was 500 liters. This was 80% complete for labor and 60% complete for overheads. By default, degree of completion for materials is, if you are following FIFO method, I will have to take the balanced degree of completion in the current month. I will take 0% for material, I will take 20% for labor, I will take 40% for overhead. I cannot even follow weighted average method here guys because cost bifurcation is not given. थोड़े बंदे को ज़्यादा ही रिवाइज करके आ गए, याद है ये सब? Cost bifurcation is not given beta, that is why you cannot follow weighted average method, you can only follow FIFO method. Closing work in progress at the end of the month was 100 liters, which is 20% complete for labor and 10% for overheads. Again 100% for material. Normal loss is 10% of input, fresh in brackets. मतलब क्या? Only current month in, नया जो भी आया बेटा, only current month input guys is what you should consider for the purpose of normal loss. You should not consider total input. While explaining process costing, I told you there are 3 scenarios of giving normal loss. Normal loss as a percentage of total input, normal loss as a percentage of current month input, normal loss as a percentage of production. Production का मतलब क्या होता है वहाँ पे? Opening work in progress plus current month input minus closing work in progress. That is how you define production. So यहाँ पे it is current month input. Total losses during the month were 800 liters, which was partly due to fire damage. Output transferred to the next process was 3,400 liters. Losses have a scrap value of 20 rupees per liter. All raw materials are added at the commencement of the process. The cost per equivalent unit is 660. This is for cost per equivalent unit is 660. जिसमें raw material is 300, labor is 200, overheads are 160. Company uses FIFO method to value work in progress and finished goods. Following information is required for managerial decision. The only thing that is not given as such beta here is current month input. But then we have all the other details guys. Visualize a process account as such beta. You have opening work in progress. You have total losses. Normal loss plus abnormal loss collectively beta is 800. Yes or no guys? इसमें कितना normal है कितना abnormal है बाद में देखेंगे बेटा. But collectively it is 800. I have completed units. I have closing work in progress. Won't the balancing figure be current month input? I am not talking about values guys. Shouldn't the units column match? First required. I think I gave a similar question in test also बेटा. याद है नहीं? 5360 कुछ तो आंसर आया था. You have to arrive at input of raw material. Most of you did not answer that correctly. वो याद नहीं है sir. So when you talk about input guys, please understand better. Opening work in progress, current month input should match with, what do we write on the credit side? Normal loss, next abnormal loss, next completed units, next closing work in progress. Don't we write all of this? I do not know the bifurcation, but I do know this is collectively 800. Total losses during the current month were 800. Completed units कितना है बेटा? 3000. How much is closing work in progress? How much is opening work in progress? 500 guys. How much will be current month input? 3000. Now can I divide my losses into normal loss and abnormal loss? How much should be your normal loss beta? 10% of current month input, 3,800. That is 300 and total loss is how much guys? 800. इसमें से normal loss कितना हुआ बेटा? 380. How much will be abnormal loss? We are done with the first 2 bits. Oh, इतना easy है क्या? We got current month input, we got normal loss and abnormal. कुछ नहीं है बेटा. अभी और एक चीज जो नहीं दिया हुआ है बेटा, that is cost of materials consumed. But he gave us cost per equivalent unit. If I prepare that entire statement guys, you remember statement of equivalent units and cost per unit. उसमें they used to give us cost incurred, we used to divide cost incurred by equivalent units to get cost per unit. If I have cost per unit, can't I compute this thing beta cost incurred? Equivalent units anyways we have beta now. There's no problem. Another important point here beta is, did they give us degree of completion for scrapped units? Assume 100%. Do not assume 0%. ले पे no. This is what we used to do in the first 10 questions. Abnormal loss ka cost per unit used to be the exactly same as finished goods, completed unit. So did we not assume that it was as good as a completed unit? Even here, because degree of completion for abnormal loss is not given, you assume that it is 100% complete. Otherwise, beta, they will give us unit degree of completion for scrapped units. If you have abnormal gain, it is always at excellent. You can copy this part, guys. We'll present the statement of equivalent units after that. क्या हो बेटा? अब ये भी कॉपी करना, क्या कहते हैं? Make a note. Once you're done with this, beta, ये ऊपर का नहीं हुआ है. Start presenting statement of equivalent units. Do not forget, beta, labor and overheads have a different degree of completion. Please write that note, beta, as degree of completion for वो question में ही लिख लो चाहिए तो, as degree of completion for abnormal loss is not given. Assume. Please write that in the question itself, guys. As degree of completion for abnormal loss is not given, assume 100%. As degree of completion for abnormal loss is not given, beta, you will assume 100%. Now, guys, statement of equivalent units. आता है बनाना statement of equivalent units? Opening work in progress, how much, beta? 500. Current month input 3000, 3800. In output, beta, you will write completed units and divide that into two parts. What are those two parts? Only because this is FIFO method. If it was weighted average method, beta, you directly take 100% for the entire thing. So you will write out of opening work in progress, guys, how much? 500. Out of current month input 2900. Total completed units are 3400. Please do not write 3400 again. Out of 3400, beta, 500 is out of opening work in progress. Baki ka 2900 is out of current month input. Then you will have normal loss. How much is your normal loss? 380. Then you will have abnormal loss. How much is your abnormal loss? 420. Then you will have closing work in progress. How much? 100. You will write material, you will write labor, you will write overheads. Percentage units. %, मटीरियल हो चुका है बेटा. I'll take 0% for material. लेबर कितना हो चुका है बेटा? So how much will you take? Overheads कितना हो चुका है? So you should take current month input, everything should be at 100%. Yes, do you remember process costing? Chapters like process costing don't need much revision, guys. एक question भी कर लेते हो तो you end up getting everything. Normal loss beta should always be at 0%. Abnormal loss, I just told you beta that you will take 100% degree of completion. Closing work in progress, material will be 100, labor and overheads they have given beta 20% and 10%. What are the number of equivalent units? 3 4 2 0 3 4 4 0 3 5. This will be the statement, sorry, this will be the number of equivalent units. Cost per unit is already given, guys. Can someone tell me beta how much is the cost per unit? 300 160. 300 200 and 160. अब यहां तक जो इंफॉर्मेशन की है ना बेटा, उसके बेसिस पे यू कैन ऑलरेडी आंसर फोर्थ बिट एंड फिफ्थ बिट. ओनली टू कंप्यूट थर्ड बिट, गाइस, आई विल हैव टू कैलकुलेट अगेन. Yes, guys. Guys, ये देखो बेटा, मटेरियल का कॉस्ट पर यूनिट कैसे करोगे? Do you know that it is cost of materials consumed minus scrap of what? Excellent. Scrap value of normal loss, only normal loss units, divided by equivalent normal output first 10 questions. But ये भी normal output दिया बेटा. So what is the answer beta? 300 is equal to cost of materials consumed beta is not given in the current month. Scrap value of normal loss 380 units. Each unit has a scrap value of कितना बेटा? नहीं per unit 20. Equivalent units beta we have already computed 3420. Cross multiply करके बेटा add that 7600. Cross multiply and add 10 7600 guys. 10 lakh हो गया बेटा थर्ड बिट भी. Value of raw materials added to the process during the current month is 10,33,600. You understood what we did, guys? We'll finish off all the 25 case scenarios within the first session today. उसके आगे you have all smaller MCQs, guys. You can practice them. जब भी तुम्हारे time है. In case you are finding it, in case you're not getting the answer to anything as such, but you can let me know. But all of those are simple. Avaleda. Fourth bit देखो बेटा, what is the value of labor and overhead in closing work in progress? You have to take equivalent units of closing work in progress of labor and overheads and multiply by cost per unit. 20 into 200, 4000, 10 into 160, 1600. Did you all get value of materials consumed, guys? It's 10,33,600. क्या हुआ? डाउट है कुछ? जीतू डन. Guys, closing work in progress valuation. They're not asking us total closing work in progress, only labor and overheads. For labor, beta, though you have 100 units, guys, the degree of completion for labor was only, so we'll take 100 units into 20%, into cost per unit is 200 rupees. That will become overheads, guys, degree of completion is how much? So that'll be 100 units into 10% multiplied by 160 rupees, 1600. This will be the valuation of closing work in progress, guys. Kids, are we all clear about this? Valuation of finished goods, beta, last bit. ये थोड़ा time consuming है. You have to divide your output into what, guys? Because this is FIFO method. Total output कितना है बेटा? 3000. I will have to divide this into two parts, beta. What is that? Opening work in progress 500. Current month input 2000. Opening work in progress also two parts. What is the expenditure already incurred in previous month? Expenditure already incurred in previous month, beta, is nothing but the value of opening work in progress. How much is that, beta? 2,70,000. Expenditure incurred in current month, beta, would be, are you incurring anything on material? Current month. $30. But beta, 660 is not weighted average cost per unit. This is FIFO method. मैच हो रहा है, अब किस्मत अच्छी है तो क्या करूँ यार. अगर मैच नहीं हो रहा है तो अगर समझो एक ऑप्शन वो है वेटेड एवरेज वाला, और तुम लोग ऐसे, आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? We do that under weighted average method. We do not do that under FIFO method. If someone is actually beta trying to screw us, he will obviously give you option as per weighted average and as per FIFO. अपन जोश में अरे मैच हो रहा बोल के आ जाते हैं. वहां पे थोड़ी हाईलाइट करके देगा बेटा that this is the right answer. Please check if it is matching or not बोल के. You understood what I just said, guys? अभी ये कितना हो जाएगा बेटा? Expenditure incurred in current month. Opening work in progress. Material 0 बेटा. 500 units into 0. Labor beta 100 into 200. Labor overheads total dindi antakalpi, and this beta will be 2900 into 660. कैसे बोलते ये लोग? 19,14,000. Now add all of them, guys. This is the value. This will be the value of your completed units. समझ में आया ना बेटा? होशियारी मत करना बस. That means we forgot how to value inventory under FIFO method. Under weighted average, guys, we directly multiply because it is weighted average method. You do not have to segregate between opening work in progress and current month input. Under FIFO method, it is mandatory to segregate between current month input and opening work in progress. आज दोनों क्लास है, अपन alternate day खेल रहे ना गेम. Yes बेटा. Just not feeling better today. th question, guys. I'm not solving that, but we are only discussing it. We have the same question, I believe, guys, under additional question. Ayushi will tell me the question number now. Ayo. Question number 18 guys, once you're done with this. एक सेकेंड बेटा, लोग कर रहे हैं. कहाँ है तुम्हारा दूसरा साथी? दिख रहा मेरे को नहीं है बल्कि. नींद दो मतलब क्या? one guys. Following data are available in respect to process 1 for Jan 2024. Opening work in progress beta is 600 units at a total cost of 4,200 rupees. Degree of completion of opening work in progress is given. Current month input is 9,200 units. Total cost of that input beta is 55,200. Direct wages incurred are 18,600. Overheads are 8,630. Units scrapped are 200 units. Stage of completion of these units is given. This will apply to which loss? Abnormal. Normal loss is always taken at 0%. Abnormal gain always at 100%. Closing work in progress is 700 units. 8,900 were completed and transferred to the next process. Normal loss is 4% of total input. Scrap value is 6 rupees per unit. You are required to be ready with the following information. You're not required to answer, you're just supposed to be ready. Anyways guys, they did not specify the method of inventory valuation. Which method can be followed? FIFO. Why only FIFO method? Cost bifurcation is excellent. Write that better. As cost bifurcation is not given, only FIFO method can be followed. As cost bifurcation is not given, only FIFO method can be followed. Only FIFO method can be followed. As cost bifurcation is not given, we can only follow FIFO method. Any doubt in this, kids? Will only present statement of equivalent units, guys. बाकी का तुम देख लेना, ठीक है? और that is also not required actually, guys. It's a pretty simple question. Isn't this a simple question, guys? Can I skip it, बेटा? कुछ नहीं है बेटा, सेम FIFO method है, you'll have to write, but यहाँ पे abnormal gain आएगा, guys. You will not get abnormal loss. क्योंकि 200 units plus 9,200, 9,800 units into 4% करो बेटा. Total input का है 309. This is your normal loss. But actual loss is only 200 units. So abnormal gain will be 192. Abnormal gain. It is not abnormal loss. Are we clear? Will you be able to do it? Chalo guys, skip it. If you still want the answer, guys, it is there under additional question bank. Solution is already uploaded, guys. Check it. ठीक है? Question number 19, guys. We will have to solve this better now. ये क्वेश्चन एक दो बार शायद आरटीपी में भी आया. हाँ. Arnav operates in beverage industry where it manufactures soft drinks in 3 sizes of large, 3 liters, medium 1.5 liters, small 600 ml bottles. So we have 3 different sizes here. The products are processed in batches. We have 5,000 liters capacity processing plant which consumes electricity of 90 kilowatts per hour. And a batch takes 1 hour 45 minutes to complete. Only symmetric size of products can be processed at a time. And one batch mein guys, you cannot have large wala, medium wala, small wala all put together. You either manufacture only large, or you manufacture only medium, or you manufacture only. Capacity of the plant is not given in terms of bottles, it is given in terms of. That means irrespective of large or medium or small, quantity 5,000 liters आएगी. 5,000 liters divided by 3 liters will become the number of bottles of large. नहीं बेटा, when they say 5,000 liter capacity processing plant, it is in one particular batch per run, per production run. So guys, a batch takes 1 hour 45 minutes, only symmetric size of products. Machine setup time takes 15 minutes to get ready for the next batch processing. During setup, power consumption is only 20%. 90 kilowatt hours is what you normally consume, but during setup it will be 18 kilowatts per hour. Sir, how 18? Only 20% electricity is consumed. That is why it is only 18 kilowatt hours. Any doubt in this? To produce, the current price of large, medium and small is 150 rupees, 90 rupees and 50 rupees respectively. To produce a liter of beverage, 14 liters of raw material W is required. And 25 ml of material C are required, which is costing 0.5 and 1000 rupees per liter respectively. This is for every liter of product. You need 14 liters of raw material W and you need 25 ml of material C. इसमें एक ही है बेटा दिमाग खराब, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी पूछता वो पावर कंज्यूम करना, रॉ मटेरियल कितना लेते, ये सब लिखना पड़ता, पूरा डिटेल कैलकुलेशन, देन विल हैव टू अराइव एट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी. ऑप्शन नहीं है. 20 direct workers are required. That means simultaneously, guys, in every batch you will be having how many workers working? 20 workers. The workers are paid better 880 rupees for 8 hours shift of work. Normal hai yahan tak? Without meditation. The average packing cost per bottle is 3 rupees. So it does not matter whether it is large, medium or small. You will incur 3 rupees for all the 3 categories as packing cost. How? We do not know. Power is costing us 7 rupees per kilowatt hour. It is not 7 per hour, per kilowatt hour. During operation we consume how many kilowatt hours? 90. So 7 into 90 will be the power cost per hour. Are we clear, guys? Other variable cost is 30,000 per batch. Fixed cost, administration and marketing is 4 crore 90 lakhs. Holding cost is 1 rupee per bottle per annum. This is given only for EOQ. Last mein beta, they will ask us to compute EOQ. We will not take holding cost anywhere, guys, in our profitability statement. Are we clear? We will only take other costs. This holding cost is only for EOQ computation. If you want, you can write that. Not for profitability, only for EOQ. EBQ beta. The marketing team has surveyed the following demand for the bottles: large 3 lakhs, medium 7 lakh 50, small 20 lakhs. The following information has been sought from you for the purpose of performance review meeting. What are the number of large bottles that can be processed in a batch? Pretty simple. 5000 liters divided by 3 liters. What are the total number of batches that will be needed to run to process medium sized bottles? You can take number of bottles per batch, guys, and then you will arrive at the total number of batches. What is the material W required for small size bottles? अब ये अपन अलग अलग आंसर नहीं करने वाले. We'll present the entire data and then we'll see, guys, what is required, what is not required. Profit or loss per, ये गलत है बेटा, per batch is incorrect wording. It is profit or loss for the year. If it is per batch, guys, from how the hell will you make 2 crores 82 lakhs? 5000 लीटर बेच के बेटा, whose cost is 150 90 rupees, will you make 2 crores 3 crores 4 crores 5 crores? If you are making 2 crores 5 crores per batch as such, guys, we will be there to compete with Ambani also. Yes or no, guys? What is the EBQ of small bottles? We will compute this towards the end. ठीक है? The profit that we are going to get, the profit that they have written here, will have a minor difference. Why is that difference coming also? I'll tell you in the end as such, beta. But I do not agree with this answer. इसीलिए मतलब एक 10,000 का फर्क आता है, but option नहीं है बेटा. Closest option और कुछ भी नहीं है. The only option that we can mark beta is that. But are we clear about the question, guys? Yes or no, guys? Shall we start answering this? चलो, guys. Last to last batch students, beta, we've already done this question in the class, I believe, because it was a part of RTP also. तो तुम लोग directly वो refer करके कर सकते हो if you want to skip it. So here, guys, back beta. Large, medium, and small. What is the quantity per bottle, guys? 3 liters. 1.5 liters, 0.6 liters, 600 ml. What is the quantity per batch, guys? Doesn't matter which product, we have a capacity of only 5,000 liters. सो कुछ चाहिए बेटा, बुला रही बेचारी तब से. What do you think will be the number of bottles per batch? 5,000 divided by 3 बेटा. मेरे को पॉइंट्स में ही बोलो बेटा आंसर, क्योंकि वो एनुअल डिमांड में एडजस्ट हो जाएगा. वो 1666. 5,000 divided by 1.5 guys. 7,000 बेटा. इंटू नहीं करना है बेटा, डिवाइड करना है. Whoever got 7,500, you're multiplying guys. 5,000 divided by 0.6, 8,000 bottles. 8,000? 8,333.33. What is your annual demand beta in terms of bottles? Large कितने बेटा? 3 lakhs. Medium is? And small beta is? 20 lakhs. What will be the number of batches that you will be needing guys? 3 lakhs divided by 1666.67. Exact round off कर दो बेटा, मतलब perfect number आएगा अभी. 180 batches. Next 225. Next 240 guys. We answered the first bit and second bit. We got number of bottles per batch. We also got number of batches. Correct kids? Huh? Nothing is given. Ignore. क्योंकि anyway सब मिला के बहुत कम है ना बेटे. If you multiply by 2 hours also, we have sufficient time in a year, no? 1.75 hours is operation time. 15 minutes is setup time. That means we'll take maximum 2 hours per batch. If you add all the batches and multiply by 2 hours, it is still 1200, 1300 hours only. In a year, we will have 2000 hours easily, no? Guys, are we all clear about this? Now, beta, we need to still compute beta quantity of materials. एक नया column add कर रहा हूँ total, ताकि easier रहे बाद में. Start with raw material. Should we start with power or should we start with? Let us start with power, beta. Power consumption. Power consumption, guys, during operation कितना रहेगा? Guys, frankly speaking, beta अलग लिखने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, because only for raw material, beta, I need separate information for small size bottles. बाकी कहाँ पे बेटा do we need separate information? इसके बाद में एक ही बेटा profit और loss. Isn't that for the entire company anyways? क्या करना है बेटा अलग लिख के भी? But this is just for our understanding, guys. So during operation, beta, how many batches, guys, of large? एक second सुन लो, guys. How many batches of large? 180 batches. For every batch, will we take 1.75 hours operation time? Sir, how 1.75 hours? It takes 1 hour, 45 minutes. Isn't that 1.75 hours? For every hour, are we consuming 90 kilowatt hours? How much is this, guys? Kilowatt hours? 28,000. वैसे ही बेटा नेक्स्ट वाले के लिए इट विल बिकम 225 बैचेस इनटू 1.75 आवर्स इनटू 90 किलोवाट आवर्स. 480 38 करेक्ट है ना. नेक्स्ट वाला बेटा इज 240 बैचेस मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1.75 आवर्स इनटू 90 किलोवाट आवर्स. Can you add all of them better? 800 बस. 1,0588. अब ड्यूरिंग सेटअप बेटा, सेटअप टाइम कितना है गाइस? 15 minutes. 15 minutes मतलब 0.25 hours per batch. Yes or no guys? But do not forget beta, per hour it is only 20% of 90 kilowatt hours. हाँ या ना? That means I should take only 18 kilowatt hours. So this will become 180 batches into how much? 0.25 hours into 18 kilowatt hours. How much will that become? 810. Can you do the same thing better for the next one? 225 into 0.25 into 18. 1000. 1030. 1013. Next better. 10. Add all of them. Total 1,04,490. This is my power consumption. Like this, I will have to compute raw material requirement. I have to compute wage, labor, time requirement. If that is done aside, guys, I can directly present profitability statement. And do you want me to present profitability statement separately, or can I just do it combined? Easier, right, guys? It will take lesser time. All right, do this, guys. All of you copy this power consumption part, guys, and then we'll present raw material ka requirement collectively. We all done, beta? Continue, Guru. Now, guys, what is the quantity that we are manufacturing, guys? Abhi raw material mein aa raha hai. Remember, guys, raw material is not 14 liters per bottle. It is 14 liters per liter of beverage. Yes or no? So, guys, now what is the quantity, guys, in liters manufactured? First, कितने bottles बना रहे बेटा अपन? 3 lakh bottles. Isn't that 3 liters per bottle? So first वाले का quantity beta is 9,000. This is not quantity, guys, of raw material. This is quantity of the finished product. Are you getting it? Second वाले के how many bottles? 7,50,000. This multiplied by 2 liters. 15 lakh liters. Sorry, guys. Into 1.5 liters बेटा 11 lakh. लास्ट वाले का बेटा 20 lakh into 0.6 12 lakh liters. तीनों का टोटल बेटा 32 lakh 25,000 liters. See, for profitability statement, I do not care about bifurcation. Raw material W, guys, irrespective of the bottle, I need 14 liters per liter. So total raw material W का requirement बेटा, can I write 32 lakhs 25,000 into 14 liters? So my raw material W requirement, guys, would be 9 lakh liters into 14 liters. How much is that? 126. ये 11.25 lakhs into 14 lakh liters. 12 lakh liters into 14. ये 168 पूछा. This is the answer to the third bit. What is material W required for small size bottles? Answer आ गया बेटा वो. Now total guys, 451.5 lakh liters. Raw material guys, दूसरा क्या है? You need 0.025 liters बेटा. 25 ml ante 0.025 liters. I'll write 9 lakh into 0.025. 22,500. 11 lakh 25,000 into 0.025. 28,125. 12 lakhs बेटा into 0.025. तीनों का टोटल बेटा 80,625. We got raw material requirement also guys now. इसके बाद में let us write wage requirement. Wage requirement is even more easier beta. We know number of batches, and for every batch as such beta, we know that they need 20 hours, 20 people beta working for 2 hours. 20 workers are required, and I already know time per batch is 2 hours. How do you know time per batch is 2 hours? 1 hour 45 minutes is operation time, 15 minutes is setup time. Put together 2 hours. Directly multiply कर देंगे ना बेटा, हो गया. Write this guys. हुआ बेटा ये? Once you're done with this beta, what did I tell you? Number of labor hours. Do we need 2 hours per batch? 2 hours per batch into 20 workers, correct? That means how many hours beta? 40 hours. Correct bola na? It is 2 hours per batch guys into 20 workers guys. That means 40 hours per batch. So number of labor hours guys. First वाले के लिए कितने हो जाएंगे? How many batches? 180 batches into 40 hours beta. 7,200 hours. Next beta. 225 batches into 40 hours. 9,000 hours. Next beta. 240 batches into 40 hours. 9,600 hours. All put together 25,800 hours. ये हो गया number of labor hours भी. Is there any other calculation that you are left with? Can we start with profitability statement? Guys, I'm not going to present profitability per bottles each category as such, but I'll directly present overall profitability. Finish off this number of labor hours also guys, then we'll write profitability. One. Are we all clear about this guys? Any doubt in this part? Once you're done with this, beta, let us write profitability statement. Profitability statement, guys. We have what all the bottles, beta? Large, medium और टोटल कॉलम पे ज्यादा ध्यान देंगे, ठीक है. रेवेन्यू गाइस, हाउ मेनी बॉटल्स ऑफ लार्ज गाइस? ईच बॉटल का प्राइस, हाउ मच विल दैट बिकम? 450 lakhs. Next beta, how many bottles of medium? 7,50,000 bottles into 60 rupees guys. 90 lakhs, sorry 90 rupees. 600 and small bottles beta, 20 lakh bottles into 60 rupees. अरे पूरे रॉन्ग लिख रहा हूँ क्या यार मैं? पक्का है 50? हाँ 50. All put together 2125 lakhs. Now guys, minus, we have presented so much information guys. एक एक शुरू करो. Raw material W guys. I do not want you to write product wise. Can I directly write total requirement of raw material W कितना था? 451.5 lakhs into cost per liter 0.5 rupees. How much will that become? 225 point. Raw material next क्या है बेटा? C. Total requirement into how much rupees per liter? 1000. Tell me the amount in lakhs. 806. Correct है ना? 806.25 guys. Next beta, wages. How many hours are they working for? 25,000 into 110 rupees per hour. Sir, how 110? 880 is for 8 hours. कितना है बेटा ये? 28 lakhs, 38,000. These are your wages guys. Power consumption guys. What is the total power consumption? 10 into rate per kilowatt hour. 7,41,000. ये power consumption guys. I am done with power. I am done with ऊपर क्या है बेटा? Raw material. I am done with wages. अभी क्या है बेटा? Packing and other variable cost guys. Packing cost कितना है guys? This is, you can add all the bottles guys. 20 lakh bottles plus 3 lakh bottles plus 7.5 lakh bottles into 3 rupees. 91 point. Then beta, this other variable cost is per batch guys. Number of batches add karo. First one is 180 plus 225 batches plus into 30,000. 193 point. Can someone deduct all of this beta from revenue? 2125 minus 225.75. You can also deduct fixed cost. No, now sorry. Fixed cost kitna hai beta? 490 lakhs. Can you deduct all of this beta and tell me what is the amount? 2125 lakhs minus 225.75 lakhs minus 806.25 minus 28.38 minus 7.31437 minus 91.5 2 crore 82 lakhs 30,000. Now guys, we are getting a difference guys. Kitna difference beta? 13,190. That will be the cost of 20 workers for 6 hours. 20 into 6 workers, 20 into 6 hours karo beta, into 110 rupees. That will be the exact difference in profitability. वो लोग क्या करे बेटा? While computing wages, they computed in terms of number of shifts and round off कर दिए next number को, which is not required. अगर round off से जाना है ना बेटा, पूरा question गलत है. क्योंकि how many bottles per batch guys of large? How the hell will you manufacture 0.66? Won't you restrict it to 1666 bottles only? Next category 3333 only. Next वाला 8333 only. Won't that entire calculation go for a toss? Number of batches बिगड़ जाएगा पूरा ही. So that is why I did not round off anywhere as such, guys. I directly took the values like that. They computed wages based on number of shifts and they rounded off. एक जगह 0.25 shift आया बेटा, तो next number को ले लिए वो लोग. That is why they're getting that 0.75 shift का extra cost and profit reduced by that amount. But we should not worry better because none of the options are close. All the other options are 4 crores, 5 crores, 7 crores as such, guys. Are we clear? That is why we are getting a difference of 13,200 rupees. Otherwise, you should get the exact answer. Is that clear? Copy karo beta. All of you copy the profitability statement, guys. Perfect beta Sarvagna. All of you copy profitability statement. Yes, kids. Karo beta. We still have to solve a couple of more questions. We will take a break, guys, once we are done with all the case scenarios of costing. That's 11:30 जो भी है उसके हिसाब से. घर वाले हो जो घर पे बैठे सो बेटा आराम से नाश्ता करते जाओ. चाय हो गई तो और एक राउंड मंगा लो. यार तुम लोग हेडफोन लगा के सुना करो यार. ये देखो घर पे क्लास सुनने में मजा बहुत आता है कहते क्योंकि पापा सुनते रहते पीछे में. आप क्लास में सबको चुड़ैल बोलते ये बोलते कहते. डू नॉट डू दैट गाइस, प्लीज पुट हेडफोन्स. यार इतने बार बोला यार. देखो ऐसे लग रहा है मेरे को बुला रहे बोल के. देखो उनको भी कॉन्फिडेंस है. All right, kids, are you all clear about this? Can you please explain the difference in profitability, guys? So, I will explain, guys. The total number of bottles that we are manufacturing as such, guys, of medium, kitna hai beta? All of you pay attention, guys. It is 7,50,000 bottles. Yes or no, guys? 7,50,000 bottles as such, guys, is basically how many batches? 225 batches. 225 batches as such, guys, to take how many hours? 2 hours. Hi, na, guys. Will that be 2 hours as such, guys? Into 20 workers, of course, but I'll multiply into 20 later as such. But abhi ke liye 225 batches into 2 hours. That will become how many hours? 450 hours divided by 8 hours. Beta, how many shifts? 56.25 shifts. Correct? ICAI considered this to be 57 shifts. What is the extra cost considered? 0.75 shifts. 0.75 shifts, guys, multiplied by how many workers? 20 workers into 8 hours per shift. Hi, Anna. Into 110 rupees. This is a difference in profitability as per ICAI answer, guys, and the answer that I just presented. I hope it is clear. ठीक है, ये difference in profitability copy करना है तो copy कर सकते हो, but as to why are we getting a different answer there and why is the answer different here? If you want to copy difference in profitability, beta, this is the reason. Are we all clear about this? There's still one more bit, beta. We have to compute what, guys? EBQ, economic batch quantity. Formula क्या है बेटा? Root over. We do not use A and all of that, beta, but DS. जो भी है बेटा, you will arrive at the amount of EBQ here for small bottles. Is everyone done with this? Did you write this, guys? Now we have to compute economic batch quantity beta for small bottles. The answer is in terms of bottles as such, guys. ठीक है? What is the annual demand? 20 lakh beta for small bottles, of course. What is your holding cost per bottle per annum? Holding cost per bottle beta is 1 rupee. What do you think beta will be setup cost? Huh? Setup cost beta per batch will comprise of power cost as well as other variable cost per batch. वो other cost per batch दिया हुआ है बेटा वो. So because it's mentioned per batch beta, we have to assume that the cost is going to remain fixed per batch basis. Did he mention other variable cost per batch beta? Power cost, how will you compute, guys? Per batch. 0.25 hours is your setup time into 18 kilowatt hours into 7 rupees plus 30,000. So that'll become 30,000, 31.5. Based on this, guys, you're going to get your EBQ. Root over 2 into 2, 20 lakhs into 30,000, 31.5 divided by 1 rupee. कैलकुलेटर पे आ रहा है क्या? चेक करो. नहीं आ रहा है समझो. पहले 2 into 20 lakhs का रूट निकाल लो. ठीक है, कितना है बेटा आंसर? That's the answer, guys. 3,46,592 bottles is the economic batch quantity. Are we clear about this? Yes or no, kids? सबका हो गया बेटा ये? You got 3,46,592. Frankly speaking, बेटा ये भी गलती है. This question was a little weird, guys. I do not even know why did they get this, because even labor cost of those 15 minutes should form part of setup cost. Aren't 20 people working, guys, on this? Yes or no, guys? Machine थोड़ी अपने आप चालू हो रही है बेटा. There are 20 workers who are working for 15 minutes, guys. Their wages also should be forming part of setup cost, but it was excluded, guys, altogether. Any doubt in this, guys? Shall we start the next question? सबका हो गया बेटा ये? The next question, guys. This question is also forming part of your material, beta. Additional questions में था ये भी. So let us discuss this as well. LMV Private Limited operates cab or car rental service in Delhi or NCR. It provides a service to the offices of Noida, Gurugram and Faridabad. At present, it operates CNG fueled cars, but it is also considering to upgrade these into electric vehicles. The following details relating with the owning of CNG and EV propelled cars are as tabulated below. The purchase price of a CNG car is 9,20,000. An EV car is going to cost you 15,20,000. Government subsidy on purchase of the car is 1,50,000. That means your net cost for it will become 13,70,000. Won't your net cost be 13,70,000, guys? Life of the car is 15 years and 10 years. Residual value is 95,000 and 1,70,000. Using this, beta, will you be able to compute your depreciation? Yes or no, guys? Mileage, beta, is 20 kilometers per kg of gas. The other one is 240 kilometers per charge. Electricity consumption per charge is 30 kilowatt hours. CNG cost per kg, beta, is 60 rupees. Power cost per kilowatt hour, beta, is 7.6 rupees. So using this, beta, we can arrive at what, guys? The total fuel cost. एक जगह CNG लगेगा, दूसरी जगह they gave us what is the average distance covered by a car in a month, guys. So 1500 kilometers cover करने के लिए बेटा at a mileage of 20 kilometers per kg, what is the quantity of gas that you will need? 75 kgs. Each kg of gas is costing you 60. 75 kgs into 60 rupees. 4,500. That is one of the requirements. What is the monthly cost of fuel and electricity? Next, beta, 1500 kilometers करने के लिए how many charges will you need? Every charge is going to give you 240 kilometers. 6 point. Please write in only. वो बैटरी खत्म नहीं होती, अगले महीने कैरी फॉरवर्ड होती. Yes or no, beta? 6.25 charges into 30 kilowatt hours into 7.6 rupees per kilowatt hour. That is a monthly electricity cost as such, guys. Are we clear, beta? First bit says depreciable value. Depreciable value मतलब क्या, guys? Cost minus residual value. The amount that you're going to depreciate. So 9,20,000 minus 95,000. 8,25,000. Next, beta, ये difference कितना था? 13 lakhs minus 1,70,000. 12 lakhs. This is the depreciable value. Are we clear about this, guys? Then, beta, they've given us annual maintenance cost, annual insurance cost. Tire replacement cost once in every 5 years. ऊपर देखो बेटा, what is the life of a CNG car? 15 years. How many times are you going to replace your tires? 2 times. At the end of 15th year, tire बदल के scrap करोगे गाड़ी को. Guys, imagine बेटा, the vehicle is to be scrapped as such, guys. उसको सजा धजा के scrap करोगे क्या? बन्नो रे बन्नो बोल के गाना गाते हुए. Are we understanding this? So you are going to replace tires only. Most important part of the question is only this, guys. Many students asked out in this point only. बाद में जब भी वो लोग additional questions solve करते, so you took tire cost only 2 times. We did not replace at the end of 15th year बोल के. You're not supposed to. Now electric vehicle has a life of how many years? How many times will you replace tires? 1 time only. Are we clear? Battery replacement cost, guys. Once in every 8 years. ठीक है? CNG car life is how many years? When will you replace battery? Only once, at the end of 8th year. 16th year will not come. Life gone. Yes or no, beta? Electric car, beta? One time. When will you do that? At the end of 8. ऐसे questions क्यों देते नहीं मालूम बेटा, अक्ल लगाओ. Why will you want to replace the battery at the end of 8th year? Scrap the vehicle at the end of 8th year. 5,40,000 बैटरी का कॉस्ट है. नई गाड़ी खरीदो ना यार, 2 साल के लिए. Why will you incur 5,40,000? Don't you think it makes more sense to just scrap the vehicle altogether, guys, and buy a new car? But we are not supposed to use our brain here. We're supposed to answer it based on the information given. Information given 10 years life है. So 10 years अंदर हटो बे तुम्हारे. Next बेटा, driver salary, garage rent, share of office admin and cost. Requirement देख लेते हैं. What is the total cost to be incurred for replacement of tires? 2 times tires change करना है बेटा. 2 times of 16,000. 1 time you have to change 16,000. So that is 32,000 and 16,000. Battery you will change once and once for both of them. Yes or no, guys? So how much will that become? 12,000 and 5,40,000. That is the answer. Last bit beta says, what is the cost of operating vehicle per month for both CNG and EV operations? ठीक है, per month cost करना है, everything. Shall we start this? Yes or no, guys? We will finish this better. Question is very simple, guys. Did you mark the point of tire and battery as important, guys? What will you mention? That we will not change at the end of life. Is that clear? एक सेकंड बेटा, बैटरी चार्ज हो रही है इसकी. Start with depreciable value. Sriniket. Hi. Let us start with depreciable value, guys. We have 2 options beta here. Question number क्या है बेटा ये? 20. बहुत बाकी है नहीं अभी भी. CNG and EV, guys. Cost net of subsidy कितना है? First वाले का बेटा 9,20,000. Next वाले का 13,70,000. जैसे बेटा there is road tax in Andhra Pradesh, guys, for electric vehicles. In Telangana there is road tax. भाई कहीं को you have to pay on electric vehicle better here in Telangana. There's no road tax in Maharashtra. There's no road tax in Andhra Pradesh. That is why the ones who are buying higher end higher end electric cars better, the cost of which is 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, they end up registering the vehicles in Andhra Pradesh or Maharashtra, provided they should have an office or a house there. Only then you can do that to save tax or kuch nahi. Jaise so many high end vehicles are Pondicherry because it's a union territory. You end up paying lower tax. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है, 10-15 लाख बचते बस, इसीलिए करते हैं. हाँ. Residual value beta is how much, guys? First case 95,000. This is 1,70,000. So what is the depreciable value? 8,25,000. 12 lakhs. This is the depreciable value. Should we also compute depreciation here beta? This is how much beta life? 15 years. This is depreciation per annum कितना हो जाएगा? 55,000. This is per annum beta, and this is 1,20,000. बाद में we will write per month when we present monthly cost statement. Did you all get this, guys? We got depreciable value, we got depreciation per annum. Now beta, what is distance covered per month? Distance covered per month beta is 1,500 kilometers. I will write gas required / number of charges required. Gas के लिए I'll divide 1,500 kilometers by how much kilometer per kg? 20 kilometers per kg. So I will need how many kgs? 75 kgs of gas. Here I'll write 1,500 kilometers per how many kilometers per charge? 240 kilometers per charge. So how many charges? 6.25 charges. Next बेटा, तुम्हारा क्या कॉस्ट है बेटा? ये फ्यूल कॉस्ट और इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कॉस्ट. दिस इज द आंसर टू द सेकेंड बिट. फ्यूल कॉस्ट कितना हो जाएगा गाइस? 75 kgs. Each kg is costing us 60 rupees. 4,500. 6.25 charges. Each charge में बेटा how many kilowatt hours? 30 kilowatt hours. And each kilowatt hour is 7 point, how much will this become? 1425. This is the answer to the second bit. We got the answer to the first and the second bit. Depreciable value as well as fuel cost. Now beta, replacement of tires beta. Number of times, twice, once. ये twice कब करोगे बेटा? At the end of 5th and 10th year, not at the end of 15th year. यहाँ पे because life is only 10 years, only at the end of 5th year. These are the number of times you are going to change your tires. Do not forget बेटा, life is 15 years and 10 years. So tire cost कितना हो जाएगा बेटा? 2 times of 16,000, 32,000, 1 into 16, 16,000. When you apportion this cost beta, you will still apportion over 15 years and 10 years. When you compute operating cost per month, I have to take all expenses and divide by a life of 15 years. I cannot say that tires are useful only for 10 years बोल के. गाड़ी के साथ जो पहले नए टायर आ रहे हैं वो भी तो यूज कर रहे हैं ना अपन. Next बेटा, battery replacement once in every 8 years. So number of times that you're going to replace beta, only once, which will be at the end of 8th year. Once at the end of 8th year. So my cost as such beta battery replacement will be 1 into battery का cost कितना है बेटा ये? 12,000 rupees. 1 into 5,40,000, 5,40,000. This will be your battery replacement cost, guys. We got replacement of tires, we got battery replacement. We are done with the fourth bit also, guys. अब directly monthly operating cost statement शुरू करें बेटा. Did you all get this, guys? Pretty simple, right? The only important part beta, as I already told you, is in relation to tires and batteries. क्या हुआ दिया? टाइम क्या हो रहा है यार? 9:40. We'll finish, guys. All the 25 हो जाते हैं अभी. Then we'll start with the additional questions of FM. Then we'll move on to the case scenarios of FM. फिर टाटा bye bye. Yes, guys, are you all done? Now, guys, operating cost statement. Operating cost statement, guys. First wala is CNG, next one is EV. Go in the order better, so that you do not miss out anything. What is depreciation? मैं पेज ही पलटा दिया, हो गया बोल के. पर मंथ करना है बेटा मेरे को. So 55,000 divided by 12 months. 500 and please write the answer in points क्योंकि आंसर जो नीचे दिया हुआ बेटा that is also in points. So 4,583.33. This वाला बेटा 1,20,000, right? Divided by 12 months. कितना? Next बेटा fuel or electricity, guys. We have already computed this. 4,500 and 1,425. Please go in the order बेटा. ऊपर वाला depreciation done, fuel done. Now maintenance cost बेटा they gave per annum. What will you do? Divide by 12 months. 8,000 by 12 months. 14,600 divided by 12 months. नहीं sorry, मैं insurance हाँ समझ क्या बेटा, relax. 5,200 divided by 12 months. Correct answer बेटा. Insurance cost, guys. This is also annual cost beta, you will divide by 12 months. 7,600 by 12 months. 633.33. दूसरा वाला बेटा is 14,600 divided by 12 months. 1216. Now please stop for a minute, guys. Listen. Tire cost that you're incurring beta in the first case, are you not incurring 32,000? You will divide this beta by 15 years into 12 months. Because this is not per annum beta tire cost. This is for the entire life of the car. So 32,000 should be divided by 15 years into 12 months. How much is that? 7. Dusra wala beta, you're replacing only once. You will divide by 10 years into 12 months. Life is 10 years. 16,000 by 120 beta. 130. 19,200 कहते हैं. Next beta is battery replacement, guys. How many times are we replacing battery, guys, in both the cases? I'll write 12,000 divided by 15 years into 12 months. 66.67. Next वाले में बेटा 5,40,000 divided by 10 years into 12 months. 4,000. चलो लिखो लिखो बेटा. बाकी पूरे तो कॉस्ट इजी है. ड्राइवर सैलरी इज ऑलरेडी पर मंथ. गराज रेंट इज ऑलरेडी पर मंथ. शेयर ऑफ ऑफिस एंड एडमिन कॉस्ट इज ऑलरेडी पर मंथ. All the subsequent expenses are per month only beta. Add them. Can you tell me the other expenses, guys? How much is driver's salary? Driver's salary beta is 20,000 per month. Next beta garage rent. Garage rent is 4,500. Next beta और क्या है? Admin expenses. कितना है वो? 1,500. All put together. मैच हो रहा ना, बस वो देख लो रे भाई पहले. 36,000 and 43,708 हो गया गैस मैच. अभी क्लियर अबाउट दिस? Question 21 we have already done in the class. Numbers अलग थे बेटा, but finish this, guys, and we'll go to question number 21. Done beta. Guys, I'll just read the question beta, discuss. I'll mark काम पे क्या आना चाहिए, उसके बाद में तुम लोग देख लेना, ठीक है? This is a very normal question. We have done exactly similar question, बस numbers थोड़े अलग थे बेटा in the class. M Limited is producing a single product and may expand into product diversification in the next 1 to 2 years. M is amongst the labor-intensive company where majority of processes are done manually. Employee cost is a major cost element in the total cost of the company. The company uses performance parameters, earnings per man shift. याद आ रहा है कुछ? Output per man shift, earnings per man shift बोल के क्लास में किए थे बेटा. To measure cost paid to an employee for a shift of 8 hours, and output per man shift to measure an employee's output in a shift of 8 hours. So whatever are the total salaries and wages paid beta, that divided by number of man shifts will give us earnings per man shift. Total output beta divided by number of man shifts will give us output per man shift. During the last month, the company produced 234,000 tons of output. Expenditures for the month are as follows. Raw materials consumed, guys. This will go in the computation of prime cost. Yes or no, beta? Power consumed, guys. direct expenses, prime cost computation, cost of utilities, beta I told you that you are supposed to include it in direct expenses. Power consumed, diesel consumed, guys, दोनों कहाँ पे जाएंगे? Direct expenses. So this will go as a part of your prime cost. Wages and salary paid and gratuity and leave encashment, direct wages. This will also go as a part of your prime cost. Yes or no, kids? Hiring charges for HEMM. HEMM का full form लिखा है था class में. Heavy earth moving machinery. Very good. Do you recall the question better now? This is also a direct expenditure, guys. I told you whenever they use the word hire charges, please assume it to be a direct expenditure. Lease rent अगर use कर रहा है तो factory overhead. So this will also form part of your prime cost. Hiring charges paid for cars used for official purpose. Admin overheads. Excellent, guys. Reimbursement of diesel cost, including GST. All of this will come under admin over. बेटा ये किसका diesel cost reimburse कर रहे हैं? कार ना? When car का charge beta is admin overheads, don't you think diesel also will come under that only? So 66,000 plus 22,000 plus 5% RCM. Did I also explain the concept of RCM? I said reverse charge mechanism. You have to pay GST. The recipient of service only has to pay GST. Thereafter he can claim credit of GST if you are registered. If you are not registered, it is included in your cost. यहाँ पे it says you cannot claim credit. So what should you do? Maintenance cost paid for weighing bridge, but this is used at the time of dispatch. Distribution over. Any expenditure incurred, guys, after the finished product is manufactured to get the product delivered to the customer will form part of distribution cost. AMC cost of CCTV installed at weighing bridge and factory premises. Weighing bridge will go to distribution cost. Factory will go to factory overheads. TADA, transporter, travel allowance, DNS allowance, याद है नहीं है बेटा? Selling overheads. हाँ या ना? Company has 1800 employees who work for 20 days. What will be the number of man shifts? It will be 1800 employees multiplied by 26. 46,000. Whatever are your total earnings of the employees, you will divide by 46,800 beta to get earnings per man shift. Whatever is the total output, you will divide by 46,800 to get output per man shift. कर लोगे guys? Yes or no beta? Pretty simple question, guys. Nothing complicated. Very easy question. If you have any doubt, please refer to the question that we did in the class beta. All right. 22nd one, guys. ये भी कर चुके बेटा अपन. रॉ मटेरियल्स परचेज एक बार फटाफट डिस्कस कर लेता हूं बेटा, तुम लोग बाद में मैच कर लेना, ठीक है? रॉ मटेरियल्स परचेज विल गो टू डायरेक्ट मटेरियल्स कंज्यूम्ड. यस और नो गाइस? प्राइम कॉस्ट ओनली. फ्रेट इनवर्ट्स. wages paid to factory workers, direct wages. Royalty paid, direct expenses. Amount paid for power and fuel, cost of utilities beta, even that will be direct expenses. Job charges paid to job workers. I told you the difference between job work and subcontracting. What do you do under job work? You just buy raw material, give it to someone else to manufacture and give it back. So obviously it is directly identifiable with the output. Subcontracting में बेटा you do not purchase raw material also. You ask them only to manufacture and give it to you. That is subcontracting. मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I'm just telling them that I need so and so product. Please manufacture and give it to me. जैसे all of your beauty products is such, guys. There is one company called as Cosmetify in India, UP based या कहीं कहीं ऊपर का है. जो कंपनी बोलो बेटा वो लोग बोलते हैं हम लोग मैन्युफैक्चर करके देते तुम्हारी ब्रांडिंग. Most of the products that are there as such beta sold, it is not manufactured by them. They are only marketing. Manufacturing as such beta is undertaken by them only. So they do it. You just market the product in your branding. तुम्हारे को जो करना है करो. So stores and spares consumed, factory overheads, depreciation on office building, admin overheads, repairs and maintenance paid for plant and machinery, factory overheads, repairs and maintenance paid for sales office building, selling overheads, insurance premium paid for plant and machinery, factory overheads, factory building, factory overheads, expenses paid for quality control check. Can I write COP? Cost of production. मतलब after networks cost but added to arrive at your cost of production. Research and development cost paid for improvement in production process. Cost of production. After networks cost to arrive at your cost of production. Expenses paid for pollution control and engineering and maintenance. Factory overheads. जोश में आके कुछ भी बोल दे रहे हो. Guys, pollution control and engineering, guys, it is factory overhead. Are you clear, guys? Sales and marketing manager, general manager, admin overheads, primary packing, cost of production, redistribution of finished goods के लिए packing, distribution overheads, fee paid to independent directors, admin overheads, performance bonus paid to sales staff, selling overheads. You adjust all of these opening and closing stock. Amount realized by selling scrap, cost of production. After net works cost, you will deduct it to arrive at your cost of production. हो गया guys? Very simple question. I believe we have the exact same question, guys, in the class also. Values भी शायद same है, सब करे. और वो last के दो question याद है जो मैं पूरे discuss किया था, guys. उसमें तो इससे भी ज़्यादा adjustment से बेटा, but then the whole objective was that only. 23rd question, guys. The sales department of A Limited. ये भी नहीं करने वाला हूँ बेटा मैं, I'm only discussing because we did the exact same question with different numbers in the class. The sales department of A Limited is analyzing the customer profitability for its product Z. It has decided to analyze the profitability of its 5 new customers using ABC. It buys product Z at 5,400 per unit and sells to retail customers at a listed price of 6,480. That is listed selling price. There's a difference between listed selling price and actual selling price. And that will be the amount of discount. Usually discount varies with quantities. But याद है क्लास में बोले थे एक ससुराल वाला था who was not buying anything as such, guys, literally anything, but he was still being given the highest discount. So we have number of customer orders, we have number of customer visits, number of deliveries, kilometers traveled. Guys, वो last वाला question ही है. We also had 5 customers, but then वहाँ पे we had a price of 108 rupees. We did not have such high prices. You just have to allocate these expenses, guys, and then arrive at it. Can we do that? Yes or no, guys? आ जाएगा ना सबको? अब ये solve करना पड़ेगा बेटा. 24th and 25th, 2 questions better that we need to solve, guys, and then we are done with case scenarios. ये question, guys, I included it like from ages. Then just last to last attempt I removed it कि ठीक है यार, मतलब ये constant gross margin पूछ ही नहीं रहा है, why should we do it बोल के ये लोग MCQ बोल के डाल दिए वापस. But अच्छा हुआ exam में नहीं डाले direct, पहले they included in the material. We had this question, मतलब this is old syllabus का ही question बेटा, some it came in 2004 or 2005. It just came in the exam once. Pretty simple. कोई complicated नहीं है बेटा, but just use the word constant gross margin. I'll tell you what is the meaning of that. Pokemon chocolates manufactures and distributes chocolate products. It purchases cocoa beans and processes them into 2 intermediate products. One is chocolate powder liquor base. The other one is milk chocolate liquor base. It has nothing to do with liquor, guys. It is just the base. These 2 intermediate products become separately identifiable at a single split off point. Every 500 pounds of cocoa beans yields 20 gallons of chocolate powder liquor base and 30 gallons of milk chocolate liquor base. The chocolate powder liquor base is further processed into chocolate powder. Every 20 gallons of chocolate powder liquor base will yield 200 pounds of chocolate powder. Milk chocolate liquor base is further processed into milk chocolate. Every 30 gallons of milk chocolate liquor base will give us 340 pounds of milk chocolate. This is the input output relation. यहाँ तक कुछ समझ में आया question? I'll just present it for you guys. Please do not start copying. अभी 2 ही question करना है, हो जाएगा आराम से. बैटरी नहीं है यार आज. In 23rd question there are no answers marked. All right beta. D वाले ऑप्शन नहीं है, नीचे गया ना बेटा वो. Anyways guys, बेटा याद रख के मेरे को मैसेज करिए, ठीक है. Next guys, so ये बैटरी चार्ज हो रही है बेटा. Yeah beta, whoever wants a break guys can leave the class, no issues. Happily leave the class. You can anyways copy later बेटा, कोई दोस्त को बोल देना वो दे देगा तुम्हारे notes. So if you start with 500 pounds of raw material beta cocoa beans, intermediate products जो है, intermediate मतलब at the point of split off, how many gallons will I get beta of chocolate powder liquor base? 20 gallons of chocolate powder liquor base. Chocolate powder लिख रहा हूँ बेटा, समझ जाना, that's the intermediate product. And how many gallons of this? 30 gallons of milk chocolate. This is further processed into final product. Final product beta कितना आ रहा है guys? Every 20 gallons is giving us 200 pounds of chocolate powder. And this is giving us 340 pounds of milk chocolate. Excellent. This is what is given beta in the first two things. अब बताओ guys, what is the actual input used? Next line. Cocoa beans processed for this month is how much? Joint cost that we have incurred उसके नीचे ही देखो बेटा. Can you compute and tell me what should be the intermediate output guys? 500 pounds के लिए if it is 20 gallons, 15 times of that. 300 guys. You will get 300 gallons of chocolate powder. तुम लोग डायरेक्ट फाइनल आउटपुट बोल रहे हो, मेरे को इंटरमीडिएट प्रोडक्ट चाहिए बेटा. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ guys? 7,500 into 20 divided by 500. For every 500 pounds I'm getting 20 gallons. So this will become 300 gallons of chocolate powder. And this beta will become 7,500 into 30 divided by 500. 450 gallons of milk chocolate. When you talk about final product beta, कितना हो जाएगा guys? 20 gallons is giving us 200 pounds. So 300 gallons should give us 3,000 pounds of chocolate powder. Yes or no? For every 20 gallons, if you're getting 200 pounds, for 300 gallons beta you should get. Any doubt in this? And this should be 5,100 pounds. एक बार नीचे चेक कर लो बेटा, मैच हो रहा है क्या? नीचे वहां पे आउटपुट दिया हुआ है, देखो बेटा. नीचे मतलब बेटा नेक्स्ट पेज पे नहीं, वहीं पे टेबल है. Do you see that table beta here? Production is 3,000 and 5,100 pounds. At what price are we selling them beta? 190 and 237.5. This was our joint cost. Further processing cost नीचे देखो बेटा. October 2023 separable cost of processing chocolate powder liquor into chocolate powder were this 3,02,812.5, and for milk chocolate it was 6,23,437.5. So you are selling this at what price beta? Final product 190, and ये वाला beta, this is the price at which we are selling it. What is the further cost that you incurred for the first one? 3,02,812.5. What is the cost that you are incurring here? This will become your further processing cost. Any doubt in this? समझ में आया नहीं आया guys? Are we clear about this? Next sentence beta, it says, at present we are fully processing both of the intermediate products into chocolate powder or milk chocolate. There is an active market for the intermediate product also. We could have sold chocolate powder liquor base at 997.5 and milk chocolate liquor base at 1235. If you wanted, you could have sold this at what price? 937.5. This at? And this at? This will become sales value at split off point. We have sales value after further processing. We have NRV at split off point. How will you compute NRV? Sales value after further processing minus further processing cost. That will become NRV at split off point. They're asking us to allocate joint cost guys on the basis of sales value at split off point, on the value of physical measure in gallons. Physical output जब भी देता है बेटा, you should always take output at intermediate stage. You should not take output after further processing. So you will divide in the ratio of output. Then on the basis of estimated NRV. One new thing that we are going to do better is constant gross margin. वो मैं पढ़ा दूंगा. समझ में आया? Constant gross margin मतलब every product should have the same gross profit ratio. I believe I spoke about this in the class beta while telling कि ऐसा gross margin percentage भी है बोल के. But anyways, are we clear about this? Yes or no, beta? Copy this information. Then we'll start allocating joint cost. All of you beta copy this information. इसके बाद में बेटा we have just one more question. Then the bigger questions are all done. If you're done, beta, we'll start allocating joint cost. You can also start, guys. You know how to allocate on the basis of sales value split off point, right? कॉस्ट क्या है ब्रैकेट में, क्या है नहीं दिख रहा तेरे पास मटेरियल है तो अभी जरा देना बेटा उसको एक मटेरियल शेयर करो बेटा तो सुबह से बिना मटेरियल के बैठे सर guys have you all done can you start allocating joint cost guys दिमाग एरोप्लेन मोड में डाल के करो बेटा ताकि मालूम ना पड़े start allocating joint cost guys Can you all allocate joint cost, guys? Joint cost allocation, guys. First bit में बेटा, how are they asking us to allocate joint cost? First bit बेटा is sales value at split off point. I'm just writing chocolate and milk chocolate. ठीक है ना बेटा? कितना है बेटा sales value at split off point? 300 gallons into 997.5. How much बेटा? 2. दूसरा वाला बेटा is 450 gallons into 1235. 750. Total बेटा दोनों का 8,55,000. Now guys, joint cost beta is 7,12,500. You can divide 7,12,500 by 8,55,000. कितना आ रहा? 2,49,000 and 4 lakh. मैच हो गया ना? 4,63,125. Did you all understand this, guys? हो गया बेटा ये. Next beta is what? On the basis of output, guys. What is the output, guys? 300 gallons and 450 gallons. So that is 2:3 ratio, guys. What will be your joint cost allocation beta? Second bit के लिए 7,12,500 into 2 divided by 5 into 3 divided by 5. 2,85,000. 4,27,000. Answer match हो गया है? Done beta. Now you'll have to compute NRV, guys. On the basis of NRV. How do you compute NRV, guys? You should take sales value after split off point. Perfect, guys. Sales value after split off point, guys. How will you write beta? 3,000 pounds into 190. 5,70,000. फिर बेटा 5,100 pounds into 237.5. How much will that be? 12,11,250. Total 17,81,250. From this you will first deduct what beta? Further processing cost. We already have further processing cost beta given. It is 3,02,812.5, guys, and 6,23,437.5. Please deduct this beta and write NRV at split off point. एक सेकेंड बेटा. टोटल कितना है बेटा? जो फर्दर प्रोसेसिंग कॉस्ट कोई करा क्या? 9,26,250. NRV बोलो बेटा 2,67,187.5. दूसरा वाला बेटा 081.812.5. टोटल बेटा now joint cost, guys, is 7,12,500 in the ratio of NRV at split off point. No, individual values अलग है ना बेटा. You cannot say same. Total same है, individual values अलग है ना. How much is joint cost allocation, guys? 2,22,656.25. 4,89,843.75. Correct है ना बेटा? This will be joint cost allocation, guys, on the basis of NRV. Joint cost allocation on the basis of NRV, guys. Are we clear about this? Let me know when you're all done with this, but I have to explain the fourth bit, constant gross margin percentage. Yes, beta, we all done? Without? नहीं बेटा, फायदा नहीं है. Why do you want to do that? बट प्रैक्टिकल नंबर्स है ना बेटा, थोड़ी है. देखने भी अगर लगेगा तो फायदा क्या है? If it is theory understandable better, the minute you see the answer you'll be like नहीं ठीक है यही आंसर है बेटा. But if it is practical question, even if you look at the answer, you still have to solve and check no whether it is matching or not. That is अगर नहीं आता है तो ना, so that is the objective of giving answers no. लास्ट में रहे तो तेरी शादी में अगर तेरी वाली बोली तू नहीं देखना चाहिए बोले तो. Yes बेटा. Anyways guys, constant gross margin guys, constant gross margin का मतलब होता है बेटा that all the products should have the same gross profit ratio. Pay attention guys. In order to compute this constant gross margin beta first, I will not care about the bifurcation of products. I will only say total sales guys कितना है दोनों product का. After further processing, you do not have to recompute. अभी पिछले statement में total लिखे बेटा अपन 17,81,000. इसकी बैटरी वापस खत्म. 17,81,250. Meanwhile बेटा you can write. कैलकुलेटर पे मारो बेटा 17,81,250. Deduct total further processing cost. Deduct total joint cost. I repeat, deduct total further processing cost. Total further processing cost and total joint cost. टोटल फर्दर प्रोसेसिंग कॉस्ट कैलकुलेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. अभी पिछले स्टेटमेंट में यू रोट टोटल बेटा 9,26,250 माइनस 7,12,500. Now understand, irrespective of joint cost allocation, will the total gross profit of the organization be so much? See, these are only internal cost allocations. It does not matter how are you allocating joint cost. Overall profit of the organization, gross profit will be 1 lakh. ये कितना था बेटा 7,81,250. From that I will deduct further processing cost which was 9,26,250. I will deduct joint cost 7,12,500. My gross profit beta for the entire organization is. Can you divide this beta and tell me gross margin percentage? 8%. So if all the products should have the same gross profit ratio guys, it should be 8%. Are you getting the point guys? Overall profitability of an organization cannot change just because you're changing joint cost allocation. So overall gross profit will remain at 142,500. I'm dividing that by the amount of sales to get my gross margin percentage. Once you get this guys, sun lena beta. How will you allocate joint cost? Now take sales of individual product guys. It is 5,70,000 and 12,11,250. Both the products should have a gross profit ratio of 8%. Can you deduct gross profit of 8%? This will become cost of goods sold. 5 lakh 524,400 and 11,14,000. 687. 300 and from this I will deduct further processing cost. Shouldn't this be a combination of two costs beta? Further processing cost kitna hai guys? Individually 3,02,812.5 and 6,23,437.5. Don't you think balancing figure will be joint cost? Do you remember few questions guys of joint products, byproducts wherein I told you if profits are already given, there is no way that you allocate joint cost because joint cost should be the balancing figure. ये कितना हो गया बेटा? 2,21,587.5, 4,90,912.5. This is the joint cost allocation. Last two bits, please mark it as important guys so that you revise. Are we clear about this? Online students, I hope it is all clear better. Jaldi karo guys, we have one more question to be solved. And after that we'll take a break. We are done with case scenarios beta. Once we solve that question, costing done. Everything done. Nothing left. And then guys, we'll start off with FM. Alright guys, last question is pretty simple beta, not that complicated, very easy, but let's finish it guys. Nothing is complicated, sir. M Limited is a PSU, public sector undertaking. It produces a product A. The company is in the process of preparing its revenue budget for the year 2024. Guys, जहाँ पे भी 2022 दिख रहा है ना बेटा क्वेश्चन में, that is 2024. जहाँ पे भी 2021 दिख रहा है, that is 2023. दो ही जगह बेटा ऐसा. अभी चेंज करो. Point number 4 guys, it is 2024. Point number 7, 8 guys, it is 2023. ये भी मैसेज कर रही मेरे को. क्या करती की? 2024, 2023. Now I'll go back to the question guys. It has anticipated that there will be a 12% growth in sales volume from the year 2023 of 4,20,000 tons. Last year we sold 4,20,000 tons. Current year it is going to increase by 12%. So 4,20,000 plus 12% is going to be the volume for the current year. Yes or no guys? How much is that beta? हो गया बेटा एक बेट. ऐसे थोड़ी पूछेगा बेटा वो. The sales price of rupees 23,000 per ton will be increased by 10% provided wholesale price index increases by 5%. If and only if the inflation rate is increasing by 5% as such beta, then the price per ton will increase by 23,000 was the price per ton in the last year. But beta, this point becomes irrelevant because it says the projected increase in WPI is only because wholesale price index is not increasing by more than 5%, selling price will not increase. Selling price will remain at 23,000. समझ में आ रहा है? To produce 1 ton of product A, we need 2.3 tons of raw material. Raw material cost was 4,500 rupees per ton. The price of raw material will also increase by 10% if WPI increases by, but WPI is not increasing by 5%. So this is why raw material increase ka point beta is irrelevant. Are we clear? Raw material cost will remain at 4,500 per ton beta and selling price will remain at 23,000 rupees per ton. It says what would be the quantity of raw materials beta that you will consume. For every ton you need 2.3 tons. So 4,70,400 into 2.3. 10,81,920 tons. Yes or no guys? This will be the raw material requirement. Now a total of 6,000, ये point important है बेटा अभी तक जो करे it was pretty normal. Now pay attention. A total of 6,000 employees work for the company works 26 days in a month. 85% of employees are permanent and they're getting salary as per a 5-year wage agreement. The earnings per man shift is 3,000 rupees. That means per day you will give them 3,000 excluding terminal benefits. Gratuity जो देना है वो अलग से देंगे. The new wage agreement will be implemented from 1st of July 2024 and it is expected that a 15% increase in pay will be given. Current year that we are preparing a budget for is 2024. 2024 में for 6 months it is as per the old pay, that is 3,000 rupees per man shift. For the remaining 6 months it should be as per the new pay, which is after an increase of 15%, 3,450 rupees per man shift. This is for 85% of employees. 6,000 employees में से how many are permanent employees? 85%. Are you getting this point, guys? So for these 5,100 employees, for 6 months you will pay 3,000 rupees per day, and then for the remaining 6 months you will pay 3,450 rupees per day. Any doubt in this? How did I get 3,450? 15% increase over 3,000. How did I get 6 months and 6 months? It is from 1st July 2024. Yes or no, guys? So first 6 months I will, बेटा अगर सिर्फ 2023 और 2024 वर्ड यूज करता है ना बेटा, it is calendar year. When will you take financial year? If they say 2023-24, then the year ends on 31st March. I used to talk about this beta in foundation also, no? Depreciation chapter mein beta, if they just mention for the year 2024, that means it is calendar year. If they mention 2023-24, that means it is financial year ending on 31st March. So if they only mention 2023, if they only mention 2024, that means the year is ending on 31st of December. It does not end on 31st of March. So on Maya, any question, any subject, anywhere beta, this logic applies. Are we clear about this? The casual employees, if 6,000 में से 85 are permanent, guys, how many are temporary employees? 15%. 6,000 into 15%, 900 employees beta are casual employees. उनको everyday कितना pay कर रहे हो? The wages are linked to consumer price index. The present CPI is 165.17 and it is expected to be 173.59 in the next year. So per day wages will increase to, if 850 rupees is for 165.17 consumer price index, for 173.59 what should it be? 850 rupees is at the present consumer price index. 8. This will become wage per day for the next year. I'll give a note in detail beta for wages. That is the only important point of the entire question. Baki pura normal. You understood, guys? How many are casual employees? 900. कैसे आया 900? If 85% are permanent, the remaining 15% beta will be. Nowhere is it given beta that it is being increased from 1st July. That means you will apply 893.33 for the entire year 2024. Is that clear? Next beta. During the year, nahi, kahin to miss kar diya main. Power cost for the year 2023 beta is 42 lakhs. This is for 7 lakh units of power, not 7 lakh units of output. Output is whatever we wrote above. 60% of the power is used for production purpose. This is directly related to production volume. He is trying to tell you beta कि ये जो 60% power cost है ना, this will increase by 12%. Why will it increase by 12%? Your production is increasing by 12%. Are we not producing 12% more? So don't you think, because this is directly related to production volume as such, guys, my power cost also should increase by 12%. The remaining are for employee quarters and admin office. That will remain constant. 7 lakh total cost beta, power cost was 42 lakhs. 60% of that is in relation to production. Baki ka 40% beta is in relation to admin and employee cost. That 40% will remain constant, but 60% will increase by 12%. During the year 2023, the company has paid rupees 60 lakhs for safety and maintenance work. The amount will increase in proportion to volume of production. So you will increase that by 12%. During the year 2023, the company has paid rupees 1,20,000 for purchase of diesel to be used in car hired for admin purpose. The cost of diesel will increase by 15%. So last year we paid 1,20,000 for purchase of diesel. We did not reimburse diesel. We only purchased. Reimburse करे तो RCM आता बोल के आगे देखो. During the year 2023, the company has paid 6 lakhs for car hire charges, excluding fuel cost. In the year 2024, the company has decided to reimburse diesel cost to the car rental company. मतलब let them pay diesel, you will only reimburse. Doing this will attract 5% GST on reverse charge mechanism. That means last year there was no 5% GST. Last year, did you reimburse diesel or did you pay for diesel? You bought diesel yourself. तो जीएसटी नहीं था. करंट ईयर में आर यू रीइंबर्सिंग डीजल कॉस्ट? दिस विल अट्रैक्ट and credit is not available. Because credit is not available, you will have to add it. Did we not see the same point in cost sheet abhi? Yes or no, guys? Depreciation on fixed assets for the last year beta was 80 crores 40 lakhs, and in the current year it will be 15% lower. It will reduce by 15% in the current year. You being an associate to the budget controller of the company, you're expected to answer the following questions. We already did, guys. What would be the car hire charges for financial year 23? Last year only 6 lakhs. Even diesel cost will not be included क्योंकि car hire के लिए उसको कितना पे कर रहे हो? Only 6 lakhs. Current year it will be 6 lakhs plus diesel cost plus GST. All of that will come under car hire charges because you are reimbursing diesel cost to that fellow only, no? कितना diesel reimburse करोगे बेटा? 1,20,000 plus 15%. 1 lakh. So 6 lakhs plus 1,38,000 plus 5% GST. That will become the car hire charges beta for the current year. Understood the difference? Yes or no? Last year mein why are we not including diesel? We are not reimbursing him. We are buying diesel. तो car hire उसको हम लोग सिर्फ 6 lakhs pay कर रहे हैं. But in the current year you are giving diesel also to him. You will also have to pay GST on reverse charge mechanism. What would be the budgeted profit or loss? इसके लिए पूरा profitability statement बनाना पड़ेगा. Are we clear about this, guys? Any doubt in this? समझ में आया? पक्का, guys. Let us start, guys. क्या हुआ बेटा? जाओ बे. 25th question, guys. 2023, 2024. Your sales / production volume beta would be 4,20,000 tons. In the current year it is increasing by 12%. So 4,70,400 tons. What is your selling price per ton? 23,000. Current year, no change in selling price. Why better? No change in selling price as WPI increase is less than 5%. Is less than 5%. What is your raw material required? 4,20,000 into how many tons beta? 2.3. 9,66,000. यहाँ पे 4,70,400 बेटा इंटू 2.3 81,000. What is your raw material cost per ton? 4,500. 4,500. Is there any change in cost? Why is there is no change in cost? WPI increase is again less than 5%. ये समझ में आया नहीं आया guys? Next beta, number of employees. Both the years beta we have 6,000. Number of permanent employees 85%, 5,000 and 5,100. Number of casual employees beta is 15%. That will be 900 and 900. What are your wages beta per day? For permanent employees, how much? 3,000 for entire 12 months. हाँ या ना बेटा? यहाँ पे 3,000 for first 6 months. 3,450. That is increase of for next 6 months. नंबर ऑफ परमानेंट एम्प्लॉयज, नंबर ऑफ कैजुअल एम्प्लॉयज. बेटा ये कैजुअल एम्प्लॉयज को how much did you pay guys? Last year you paid 850 per day. Current year में बेटा 850 into 173.59 divided by 165.17. That will become 893.33. 893.33. समझ में आया ये भी? कार हायर चार्जेस गाइस यहाँ पे ओनली 6 lakhs. Diesel should not be included. Why? Diesel should not be included as we are paying for it separately. Yes or no guys? As we are directly paying for it. But we will still include in our cost statement, don't worry. यहाँ पे क्या होता है बेटा 6 lakhs प्लस डीजल कितना है बेटा 1,20,000 प्लस दिस इज डीजल रीइंबर्समेंट प्लस जीएसटी ऑफ ऑल पुट टुगेदर कितना हो गया था 774,900. This is car hire charges. Did you write this? So we are basically done with the first 4 bits guys. We have to just present profitability. అర్థమైందా ఇది? Now profitability statement. Can you tell me revenue guys? You already have output, you already have selling price. Can you multiply them and tell me the total revenue? कुछ ज़्यादा ही बड़ा नंबर आ रहा ना, लैक्स में बोलती 96,600 lakhs. 1,08,000 1,08,192 lakhs. You have to multiply output guys by selling price per unit. $1,000 correct है. This year if it is 96,600 then next year it cannot be 10,000 no. Minus raw material consumed guys, मस्ती मत करो बेटा. You will have to multiply quantity with the price of raw material guys. I already written above. कितना है बेटा ये 470. दूसरा वाला बेटा 686.4 lakhs. ये हो गया raw material. Next cost बेटा is wages. I will divide into 2 parts, permanent and casual. Permanent में बेटा how many employees? 5,100 employees. How much are you paying them? 3,000 rupees per day. For how many days are they working? 26 days in a month into 12 months. 365 मत करो बेटा, working days per day दिया हुआ है. 1 4 47,000. Here guys you will write 5,100 into 3,000 into 26 days into 6 months. Yes or no? Plus 5,100 into 3450 into 26 days into 6 months. ये जो भी लास्ट ईयर का आंसर है ना उसको 7.5% ऐड करो बेटा. Just add 7.5% to last year answer, you will get it guys. 5 एक जना बोलो 5 तो सिर्फ लैक्स बोल रहा उसमें. हाँ Casual employees, guys. How many employees, beta? 900 employees. How much are we paying them per day? 850 rupees per day into 26 days into how many months? 12 months. How much will that become? 2386.8. Here, guys, lakhs. बोला नहीं बेटा तू? 900 employees into 893.33 into 26 days into 12 months. $25 crores, 8 lakhs, 47,000. I wrote 2508.4706 lakhs, guys. ये हो गया wages, guys. Next आएगा बेटा क्या? Power cost for productive purpose, guys. Won't that be 42 lakhs का 60%? Yes or no, guys? कितना है बेटा वो? 25.2 lakhs. This should increase by how much, beta? This should increase by 12%. How much will that be? 224. बाकी का बेटा is for employees and admin. 42 lakhs into 40%. You will take the same amount, guys. 16.8. After power, we have safety and maintenance work. 60 lakhs. This should also increase by 67 point. Next, car hire charges. We already wrote better. Here it is 6 lakhs. Here it is 774, 9 lakhs. But you still have to write better diesel cost in the first case. Do not forget that, because that is not included in car hire charges. 1.2 lakhs. और कुछ है बेटा? जान ले ले रहा यार ये क्वेश्चन पे अभी. Depreciation, guys. 80.40. So 8040 lakhs. तू क्या बोली? Crores. 8040 lakhs. This will reduce by 15%. 68. अब बेटा कोई माइनस करना शुरू करो. 6834 lakhs. पक्का वंशिका सेकंड कॉलम शुरू करी. प्रॉफिट और लॉस, गाइस. करेक्ट बेटा वंशिका? सेकंड वाले का कितना है बेटा? तुम लोग का नीचे देख के आंसर बोल रहे डायरेक्टली. कितना है बेटा? हाँ, फर्स्ट वाला बेटा नेगेटिव है ना, वो भी 5142. वो भी एक ऑप्शन है, देखो. हाँ, मतलब करेक्ट ही है. All right, kids, that's the end of case scenarios, guys, of costing. There are still a lot of MCQs, guys, after this. These are all smaller MCQs. You're still supposed to solve all of them, guys. You cannot leave these MCQs. Are we clear, guys? None of these MCQs, beta, can be left. You're supposed to solve all of them. Usually, beta, exam में अगर 30 marker के है, there'll be 2 case scenarios, 10 marker and 10 marker. बाकी पूरे बेटा individual 2 marker bits रहते हैं. So those smaller MCQs are also relevant, guys. They're generally easier as such, guys. You will have 2 bigger questions and then smaller ones. FM में there'll be 1 bigger MCQ, beta, proper 8 marker or 10 marker, and बाकी बेटा छोटे MCQs आएंगे. This is how they set the question papers. So even smaller MCQs, beta, single bits come in the examination. ठीक है? Last batch students, beta, in case you have any doubts, you know that you can reach out to me, beta. All right, all the very best. Study well. So that's the end of this, guys. Bye bye. And online live students, beta, you guys have a break now, and then we'll resume with FM after the break. Like how we are doing these questions of costing, we'll also be doing case scenarios of FM. Bye bye, guys.